This is Charles Haley. You're listening to Nothing But Niners.
So now they've got to start from deep in their end of the field, and Garrison Hurst takes advantage of it. He takes the handoff, sweeps to his right, gets to the 20. He's on the 30. Needs to cut in. He comes back up the right sideline. Breaks the third tackle. Comes down to the 30. He's down to the 20. He's down to the 10. He's down to the 5. He's down to the end zone. Touchdown, 49ers. 96-yard run from scrimmage. Garrison Hurst.
Back to throw. In trouble. He's going to be sacked. No, gets away. He runs. Gets away again. Goes to the 40. Gets away again. To the 35. Back to the 30. To the 20. The 15. He got it. Touchdown, 49ers. 27-yard line. 49ers into the backfield. Smith on third down. He'll take it himself for a first down. Alex Smith is in. Touchdown. His left hip. Third down. Alex takes the snap. Alex looking down and close. And it's good. Touchdown. Touchdown 49.
But it's second down. Ryan takes the front close to Bryant to the left side. It's Russell. Intercepted. The 49ers pick it. And Navarro Bowman. He's reaching. Navarro Bowman running it all the way for the touchdown. No greater redemption.
Kaepernick gets it. Pulled everybody. Colin Kaepernick. What a game. Touchdown.
Click, click, boom. What's going on, faithfuls? The Nothing But Niners crew is back, and we are here to bring you guys another fun-filled episode. Hey, don't shake your head, Nick. We all on it. That's okay, man. Better safe than sorry. We ready to rock out, bro. Nick, come on, man. You feeling upset up there? What's up, man? How you feeling, bro?
Bro, I'm fine. If you could get your wits together, man. You're sitting out in the rain. Look,
I got
man.
the rain. Look, y'all see it. Y'all see it. Don't act like y'all don't know what it is, huh? Y'all
see what's going down. Sitting out in the rain like you ain't got a house to go into or something.
But I want this cigar, man. They asked for Suge Mike, and Suge Mike is back in the building, baby.
Suge Mike isn't just the cigar smoking. That's just Suge crazy takes.
Suge Mike gonna be in the doghouse after this episode, but it's all good. I gotta figure out how to get this umbrella balance.
Don't let it get wet. That's
crazy.
Yo,
what's going on with you over there, bro?
Can I get this right? Yo, I'm doing good, fam. What's going on, baby?
I'm glad you got it right. While Mike is like fiddling with his umbrella.
Twiddly, fiddly, diddly.
I don't like y'all hating on me, bro. You know I can hear y'all. Like, what's up with the hate?
I'm trying to save the color of your skin, bro. Make sure you don't get it wet. That's all.
How's that? Oh, see, but now it's dark on me. Oh man.
You're already dark, baby. It's cool, man. We can
y'all
see you.
Me though? We good. We Gucci.
Yeah. I see more yellow, but we good.
Well, that's because I'm out in the rain. I got the poncho on top. You know, this is what I was supposed to wear if I decided to go to that Ravens game, but I decided, against that one. You rock the show, y'all see for that one. Y'all held us down for that one.
That game that you just bailed on us.
Hey, look, man! Somebody had to run the show at the time, man. Don't be mad.
The show will always go on, man. You don't stop your personal life and being able to go to a game to host.
If everybody's at the game, who running the show, bro? If everybody's at the game, who running the show?
Look, they'll still be here when we start. You don't not go to a football game.
Nah, that's not how it works. We all had
when they're on the
3+ hour drives home. They wasn't trying to see no show after all that. All right, while we are, hey, listen, guys, thank y'all for checking us out here tonight, man. We want to go through these formalities real quick. If this is your first time here on the YouTube page, make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe button. Oh, my forehead looks good. Make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe button, turn on your notifications so you know exactly when we go live. Give us a follow on a couple of our different social media platforms. We have Twitter and Snapchat. Those handles are Nothing But 9 ERS. That's the number 9, Nothing But 9 ERS. All right, we have Facebook, Instagram, as well as Twitch, and that is Nothing But Niners, spelled all the way out, just like the website, www.nothingbutniners.com. Your most stop shop for any and everything 49ers from us here at Nothing But Niners. I want to get my guy Kevin here too. I forgot to send him the link. He gonna cuss me out too. God, man, I am really messing up today, man. Oh, wait, never mind. He said his son's at practice, so he can't join. Mike didn't mess up. Kev messed up. All right, guys, we're going to keep it moving, though. But thank y'all for checking us out, man. It's nothingbutniners.com. Guys, today is the week 3 full game breakdown. 49ers versus the Giants, and we have a lot to discuss, man. We have all gone back. We've all rewatched the game. We have all sat back and said, you know what? This game wasn't as good as we thought. Or this guy wasn't as bad as we thought. Or this game went exactly how I thought it went when I first watched it. It may not have gone how I thought it was going to go before the game started, but this game is exactly what I saw when I rewatched it as it was the first time. So I can't wait to hear your guys' thoughts on this game, man. But before we get to all of that, man, we have to start with some of the new updates for the team. The team has placed tight end Jordan Reed on short-term IR. That's what the team officially calls it. But it's weird because it's still 6 to 8 weeks. So regular IR is 6 weeks. It's not season ending. So I guess if it's not season ending, it's considered short-term. But they have placed tight end Jordan Reed. They have placed tight end Jordan Reed on short-term IR. They have ruled Dre Greenlaw out against the Eagles. D Ford's back has been ruled out for this upcoming game against the Eagles, but they said that they are trying to determine whether or not they're going to put him on IR. Mark Nzaucha with a quad injury. He is out against the Eagles as well. They don't know if they're going to put him on IR yet or not. McKinnon is day-to-day. You know what that means? He's likely to play, but we'll see what happens. Running back Jerick McKinnon, the Jet, who was having a fantastic 2-game stretch here, is day-to-day. Cornerback Mosley is still in concussion protocol. We hope and expect him to come out of that. And again, what we started with was tight end Jordan Reed, placed on the IR. Minimum of 3 weeks, but out 6 to 8 weeks, according to what Shanahan said during his presser. K'Wan Williams hip, Jimmy Garoppolo, Mostert, and Witherspoon all are expected to practice, and we will see how they feel, and that will determine the outcome of whether or not they participate on Sunday. Guys, that's a lot of talking I just did, and there's a lot to discuss here. This is not quite a new list, but there's a name or two that's added to it, maybe 3, 4 that have been added to it since the last time we did one of these reports. So what are your guys' thoughts on the new names added to this list?
Yeah, I mean, look, the injury bug is just creeping up, right? So obviously it's been creeping there all year. But, with Jordan Reed going to the IR, all those names you just went down. K'Wan Williams is going to be looked at more Wednesday, see how he is. Obviously, Jimmy Garoppolo, Raheem Mostert, George Kittle will all be, looked at and see how they are. And Deebo Samuel will be looked at this Wednesday. Looks like Deebo's coming back to practice. Look, the injuries, man. Jordan Reed is, I hate to say it, but it's still a big blow, man. It's still a big blow, right? We were all looking forward to seeing Reed and Kittle together. But, man, Ross Dwelly balled out this week, and we'll get into that also. But, yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it for me with the injuries. I'm just so glad that game was such a close game.
So,
Nick, shut up, yo. Listen,
yeah, I'm about to say Nick trying to be a smart ass.
And let's just keep it a buck, yo. But the whole preface of it being a close game was just so that they can go in there, win, and get the hell out. That's all they were supposed to do. Instead, the Giants got gas, and the 49ers turned up the notch. And in a typical normal situation, when the hell does Kyle Shanahan keep his foot on the gas? Never.
Never. He's never done that as a head coach. Ever.
Right.
Ever.
So Nick ain't talking nothing. He's just trying to be slick. But Nick, you did mention some guys that are on this injury report. And with McKinnon being up here now, I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't play on Sunday against the Eagles. He got a rib injury, and I wouldn't be surprised they let him rest, especially if Mostert comes back strong. And I think you're going to get a heavy doses of Mostert. We're going to get some more of our guy, Jeff Wilson Jr., so I can see McKinnon maybe getting an extra day to rest. Look, guys, this is a long season. We're only on week 4, right? We got a slew of injuries. All right, so you got McKinnon up there. Nick talked about K'Wan Williams. He didn't look bad. You know what I'm saying? Like, he didn't look bad even watching him in the fourth quarter of the game. So when the injury report came out with this hip bruise, I'm like, what happened? And it could have happened early in the game. Remember when he got burnt on that play, or he just didn't, I don't know, he got burnt by Tate like in the first quarter or whatnot. Something could have happened there. Everybody's foot's getting stuck into the turf. But these injuries are piling up, and if that, we should be a little bit concerned. But like Kyle said, it's just football. Injuries are going to happen. All we have to do is we just have to keep moving, next man up, keep doing what they got to do, man. I think the 49ers fared well. We'll get into this game. We'll break it down and get into the nitty-gritty of what happened. Freaking close game, Nick. Man.
Yo.
Hey,
I give y'all
I can always tell when Nick is putting comments up there because it's a shot at me that has nothing to do with what we're talking
Bro,
about. That's how I can tell when Nick is putting the comments up there, bro.
I put that comment up because they're not lying. All I hear is crickets.
I was on mute when they said that.
No,
I was on
nah. They've been hearing it since
bro. It's been the whole
what y'all want me to do?
Tell the crickets to shut up.
Yeah, but look, man, that wasn't a throw at you guys about the shade about it not being a close game. Like it literally was. I didn't expect it to be a close game.
The way it even came out, Nick was like, "I'm so glad that was a close game."
Well, because every single person was saying it was going to be a close game, and
not everybody,
and that's why you said it, because everybody was saying, "Oh, it's going to be a close game. We lost a lot of pieces. We should be a little cautious with our optimism." And you were like, "Nope, it's going to be. I think it's going to be a blowout." And that's why you said,
"Oh, a lot of fans
you wanted the flowers. You wanted to pound your chest and say, "I was right, y'all were wrong."
What kind of flowers you like, Nick? You want roses? I'll send you some roses.
Nah, you know what? When y'all deserve props, I ain't giving y'all shit anymore. Y'all
I'm sending you lilies, bro. I'm sending you lilies. What's up?
Yo, not
but
lilies.
Don't deny why you said it. You know why you said it.
That's the most cheapest flower. You're buying me lilies? Nah, get out of here.
Lilies are expensive, bro.
What are you talking about? Lilies one of my favorite flowers.
Lilies cost more than roses, dog. I mean, unless you get the cheap roses. But
anyway,
I don't do gas station flowers, bro.
Nah. No one does gas station.
Right, Lily's hit, bro. What you talking about? You hating on my favorite flower?
Unless you got a side piece, you know what I'm saying? Then you go to the gas station.
Hey, look, I treat people how I want to be treated, and lilies are my favorite. So I wasn't trying to throw no shade at you. All I was saying was you said what you said for a reason. Don't try to downplay it. Look, I was right. I was right. Y'all were wrong. That's how you were supposed to say it. But don't say, "Oh, that's not why I said it." That's exactly why you said it.
Because it wasn't. It wasn't just you guys saying it was going to be a close game. The media was saying it. There were fans that were saying it. Like
he's right.
It wasn't just you guys that were saying it. And I'm like, come on, man. Like we should have had more confidence in Nick Mullins going into this game running this.
It wasn't about confidence, bro. That's not why I picked the game to be close. Need I say it again? Okay, I'll say it again. 49ers had like 45 injuries in the second week in the NFL, right? They're still at this field. They got a bunch of backups, which wasn't too much of my concern. I said they will win this game, and I think Kyle's just going to get in there and get out. So however, I think the cards just felt they just rolled his way, man. He had the right cards. Dude, the game was 16-6 at the halftime. It was a 10-point game. That's not a blowout. It's just that
should have been better than that.
And I can't wait till we break this game down, Nick, because I got a slew of notes on my iPad, baby. iPad.
All right, let's go over some more team news real quick before we get into all the game. But the team brought in not that one. Sorry, my bad.
4, not 1, not 2, but 3. But
yeah, so
4.
Look, we know the snaps were pretty crazy. And when we start talking about the pressers, that was something that I took from Kyle, man. I like this new Kyle. I love this new Kyle, right? So he's like, oh, well, and I'm talking about Kyle Shanahan, not Kyle Nelson. Kyle Nelson comes up and apologizes to Kyle and is like, look, da-da-da-da. And he's like, well, look, this is the nature of the business. We're bringing 4 guys in to work out.
He didn't say that.
No, he literally said it. Luckily, it didn't hurt us. But I also explained to him this is the nature of the business, and we're bringing some guys in to see how that works out, and we'll see who we go with from there.
Okay.
I'm going to find that shit to play it.
Well, while Nick looks for it, let me tell y'all know me. Y'all know Mike. Mike is going for the guy from Rutgers because he's from Jersey, and that's it. I know.
Yo, this guy could be a midget, and Mike's just like, oh, he's from Jersey.
Nick, I don't think you're allowed to say. I don't think you're allowed to say midget, Nick. Like, I think that's a bad word now. You got to say little person.
Yeah. Which one of those dudes on this list? Yeah, he's right.
Andrew DiPaolo.
Is he the one that was already with the 49ers last year?
Mike has no idea.
One of these guys were with the 49ers last year when we were having issues. So that's the guy that's probably going to get signed. So when Kyle Nelson was out due to drugs.
Yeah, maybe he's off of them. That's why he can't snap the ball now.
Well, yeah. He looked a little skinty. if you know what I mean. He was looking a little skinty.
Hey, Nick, put that list back up there one more time real quick.
One of these guys.
Garrison Sanborn sounds familiar.
Hey, it was him. That was the guy that was the long snapper for the 49ers during Kyle's stint being on the can't play list until he served his suspension. And then when he and if I'm not mistaken, I saw a stat that said Robbie Gould was 6'11" when he was in there. I hear.
Yeah, I know what you mean, but see, I'm trying to stay on mute because of the crickets. I'm trying to get yelled at in the comments already. But here's what I do know. I know that the Niners went through 3 or 4 long snappers while Nelson was out, and everyone kept blaming Robbie Gould's woes on the long snappers, and I don't think that was necessarily the case. But it is what it is, and if that's the case, why would you bring back a guy that you already blamed a lot of misses on? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, it was 5 misses. That's a lot. All right.
Now,
with 6 for 11 guys, that's
I can tell you that Andrew DiPaolo has a long history in the NFL. He was with the Buccaneers from 2012 to 2016. He was with the Bears the following year in 2017. The year after that, he was with the Oakland Raiders. And then this year, last year going into this year, he was with the Panthers. But then they let him go, and now he's with the Niners. So, well, I'm not going to say he's with the Niners, but he is working out with the Niners.
Oh, maybe the guy is Holba. Can't remember this guy's name. I got to find the 49ers.
No, it could be Garrison Sanborn, Breezy. It could be, but I haven't looked him up yet.
Holba was definitely here last year.
Why are y'all saying Holba when he's not on this list? What are y'all talking about?
He said that it could have been Holba that I was thinking about was here. I don't think any of these guys were here last year on the roster or in camp or anything. Holba was definitely a guy that was around for camp last year.
It must be him. Maybe he was the guy.
Colin Holba, right? Isn't that his name? Colin? Was it Colin Holba?
Yeah, that's who was here last year. Absolutely, Colin Holba. I remember his name for sure. And he was my favorite one of the 3 or 4 that we ran in here. But I will tell you guys this: Garrison Sanborn was here last year. He was here in 2019. So Breezy, talk your shit. What kind of flowers you like, young man?
Hey man, I'm a rose guy, man. It doesn't matter the color. You know what I'm saying? I like to be surprised with the colors. You know, white, red, pink, orange.
I got my wife these hybrid roses. They were white at the whole body of them, and then the edges, like the trim of them, was blue.
That's sexy.
Oh, was it? Yes, sir, it was.
Man, that's like that's like the color of MAC lipstick, man. That's sexy.
I was in my Bruno Mars bag, that Versace on the floor bag. You know what I'm saying? Like that's where I was at with it.
Yo, usually I co-sign you with the tunes. I can't hit the notes right now. I gotta save my
larynx
for
don't
yeah, I gotta do "Don't Stop Me Now" this weekend at a wedding, so I gotta save my vocal cords for that.
But yeah, no, in September 23rd, 2019, Sanborn did sign with the 49ers, and he actually did take a couple of snaps. He was released in October. So that is the guy that you were talking about, Breezy. Good call on that one, for real.
Yes, sir.
Good call.
Yeah, 1 month later, October 23rd, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so I found this. So here's the question to Kyle.
What's the situation with him after Sunday?
Yeah, I got a chance to talk to him a little bit today. I mean, I know how down Kyle is. I knew how down he was, and he just came up to me today and just apologized and stuff. And it was an unfortunate game for him. Kyle's had an unbelievable career. He's been a great 49er. He's been a great teammate. I mean, I've loved Kyle in these 3 years that I've got to know him, and he's been great for us. So I know it was a really bad day. I just told him that, fortunately, it didn't cost us anything. We were able to, it wasn't an issue in the game because of how the rest of the game went. We were able to still get a W. But he understands this business. He understands how the league works. And we're going to bring in some guys tomorrow, work them out. We'll see how they look, and then we'll decide what's the best for us going forward.
Yo, let me say something, right? Nick summarized that whole thing with, "Yep, but we're gonna bring in some guys with it." Yo, there was a whole bunch of semantics in between,
Bro,
yo.
hold on. I literally said that he said, luckily it didn't cost us anything.
You didn't say that.
Yes, I did.
Nah, you didn't say that, bro.
Yo, Mike, did I or did I not say that?
See, normally I would throw you under the bus just for argument's sake, but Nick did
I
say
didn't
it
hear
this
him
time.
say that part.
He said that when Shanahan said he spoke to him, he said, "Look, it's the nature of the game. You know,
I heard him say
you're a
that.
good guy." He said, "You're a good guy, but it's the nature of the game, and we have to bring in some other long snappers."
That's
to work
all
out.
I heard Nick say. Nick just said he said more than that. You didn't say what Nick just said. You hear what I'm saying?
I said to him that I said he also said that luckily it didn't hurt us in this game.
Mm-hmm.
Right, it didn't cost us the game, yeah.
Right.
And that was the nature of the business. That was all he said.
Okay, man. That's cool. All I'm saying is there was a lot left out. Kyle said a lot more that it didn't sound so, what's the word? Cunning. Like as far as this guy may not be on this team, not
Insulting.
not that we care, but it just seemed like Nick left out a lot that Kyle said. So thank you, Nick, for playing that presser. So for those that didn't hear it, they get the whole semantics from the whole thing, because there was a lot of bigging up first before the little bit of a, you might be off this team.
Yeah, but look, it ain't about how you start; it's about how you finish.
Hey, bang bang, baby.
Hey, and by the way, he was up and down in that game, man. He was good, then he was really bad, then he was good again, and it was bad.
Who are we talking about?
I'm talking about the long snapper, Nelson. He had a couple of good snaps, but then the rest of them, he just fell off.
He didn't have one good snap, Mike.
That's not true. That's not true. I just listen to me.
Y'all got one.
Here, listen to me. He had 5 total bad snaps, guys.
The first
there were 3 field goal attempts.
Mm-hmm.
There were 3 field goal attempts, and there were 4 touchdown attempts. That's 7. That means he had a couple of good ones. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
Mm-hmm. Okay. He didn't.
Justin School took the last 2 snaps for the point after.
So that means we had 9 attempts.
Yes. Do the math. We had 39 points, bro. You got to remember that we missed extra points and we missed
2 extra points, and we missed. And I thought we missed
a field goal or 2.
Yeah.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like I'm talking about his snaps, bro. It's all good. Listen, I'm not trying to hate on nobody, but he did have some, but it wasn't enough. He had way more bad than good. And I put this comment up here from Fresco Deonda. I don't know if he's trying to belittle somebody or not, but yeah, my wife absolutely buys me flowers. When I buy her flowers, she gets mad at me and says, I don't know how to take care of flowers. They're going to die in a couple of days. I'm dead serious. My wife gets upset when I buy her flowers, and she says they're gonna die in a couple of days. So don't buy them from me anymore. And then when I send her some, everyone at the office takes care of them. But now that she's home from work, there's no need to get them. You know what I'm saying? But she will. There's a cart that comes down her street, and they sell a bunch of different kind of flowers when she's working. There's a cart that comes down the street, and she will go out and get me a bouquet every once in a while. Ain't nothing wrong with that. It has nothing to do with your masculinity, has nothing to do with your sexuality, none of that. That's just your woman knowing that you appreciate the beauty of the natural beauty in the world. Ain't nothing to be ashamed of it there. 49ers Empire says, y'all argue like brothers, LOL. Fellas, I think it's safe to say we are brothers, right?
We're
like
brothers. So? We're happy and we're singing and we're colored.
Some of us.
Give me a high five.
Look at that. Come on, bro. You can't. Man,
remember that movie, 4 Brothers?
Yeah,
that was
a great bro. That's one of my favorite movies ever. Ever.
Yeah.
All right, so let's get to this game, man. Are we gonna do a quarter by quarter breakdown? Y'all want to do offense, defense, special teams? Y'all let me know how y'all want to do this, because I have notes and I have them organized.
I got notes and I have them organized. So I got offense. I got first drive, second. I got all the way up to the last drives, and I got offense and defense, and then I got it in quarters.
Right. So I have mine basically the same way. So Nick, you pick how you want to run down this, or do you just want to talk in general? We can talk in general.
We'll do both. Give me your guys' takes from, let's go with the first quarter.
Okay.
The first quarter, we'll go with your take there. I also want to do I want to do a player that excelled your expectations, a player who didn't meet your expectations, offensively or defensively. And we can't name guys like Nick Mullins.
Dang, man! I wish I'd had that information before the show.
I like that. I like keeping us on our toes, and it's no low hanging fruit, Nick. I like that. I like that little caveat you did there, bro. So I tell you what, I'll kick it off. Let's start with the first quarter really quick, and let's start with the offense, because we came out on offense first. I'm going to start with a hot take. and an apology all at the same time. And I'm going to request an apology from you guys. Mike McGlinchey did not have a bad game at all, especially the first half. I went back and I watched Mike McGlinchey for most of this game. Here's the hot take part. I think he might have played as good of a game or better than Trent Williams. That's the hot take part. But the apology is that as soon as the game was over, I and we trashed Mike McGlinchey. He was not that bad, bro. Mike wasn't bad at all, believe it or not. He was good in pass pro. He was good in the run game. I have specific plays. Matter of fact, let me just give you my rundown of the first drive for Mike McGlinchey. First third down of the game, Mike McGlinchey did an excellent job not biting on the stunt. So he was lined up against the defensive tackle. The end was on the other side of him. And I'm sorry, he was lined up against the defensive tackle. Okay? The end was on his inside shoulder. He steps back and he goes to defend the end. Damn, I said it backwards. He was lined up against the the end. The tackle was on his inside shoulder. He steps back, he kicks back 3 steps, and then when he goes to engage, the end circles back around towards the guard. And instead of him losing his place at all, it was almost like he knew that was coming. He jams right into the end. The guard. Damn it, the tackle. Saying this is so fucking confusing. All right. He's lined up against the end stunts, and without missing a beat, he engages and controls the tackle, the defensive tackle, the guy on the inside of the line. Okay. Mike looked really, really good. Okay. That was the first third down. I rewatched that play knowing what he did, and I still bit visually on the stunt that the defensive end ran. I was like, why didn't he get him? Damn, I knew that was coming. And I know why he didn't get him. So that was very, very good on Mike's part. I said, my note literally says, I knew it was coming and it still fooled me. Good base and quickly reset his target and engage with the next man. Very well done. On Ayuk's second handoff, which is also in the first quarter, Mike was hesitant to go to the second level and he engaged sooner. Okay, so this was a bad thing that he did. This was the one bad play that I had on him the entire first half, believe it or not.
You said it was the first third down?
The first third down of the game, they ran a stunt.
All right,
so
I'm gonna pull it up on Game Pass.
Okay, cool. So I'll describe it again then. That's cool. All right, so on the very first third down of the game, the Niners are lined up, and Mike McGlinchey is facing the defensive end. The defensive tackle is on his inside shoulder. So the defensive tackle is between him and the right guard. Okay. When they snap the ball, Mike's first 3 kickbacks, he is facing the defensive end. The end suddenly swoops around and goes inside, and Mike does not miss a beat, and he grabs the defensive tackle like that was the plan all along. It was incredible. Like, you can't even really see him turn that way. Mike is a right tackle. We know that.
I think that they're having a conversation in the chat. You keep
okay.
talking.
I'm sorry.
I got you, bro.
Okay, so hopefully Nick can get that pulled up there because it was a really, really good. It was a really good down for Mike. And like I said, I watched the play happen. I saw what he did, and then I went back and watched it, and it still fooled me. So I can't wait for Nick to pull this up. I didn't know we had the Game Pass joint pulled up on here, so we could do the screen share and everything. This is exciting.
Yeah, I have my Game Pass pulled up. So it's 3rd and 6, right?
Yeah. Yep.
3rd and 6, quarter 1, 14:06 to go.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let me
screen share that bad boy. I'm excited now. Here we go, baby. Hey Nick, what browser are you using, by the way? Because it's gonna affect how this works.
It should, as long as I pick the one tab, it should be good.
He's got to be using.
There it is. Okay. Oh yeah. Here we go, baby. Here we go. All right. So when you hit play, I want you to pause it so we can point out where Mike McGlinchey is right away. Oh. All right. So Mike McGlinchey, put your mouse on him. He's right there at the end of the line. Yep. That's Mike McGlinchey right there. Okay. Now watch Mike McGlinchey. You can see that you see where the 1, 2, 3, right? And then he stunts. And Mike don't miss a beat at all.
Yeah,
look at how seamlessly he picked that up.
Yeah.
It was like he knew that was coming.
He was lined up on the end.
Mm-hmm.
And then the tackle was on the, and then when the end came, he moved over to the other guy.
to the
All right,
to the
here it is.
to the
Here it
tackle.
is from
To the
the
tackle.
end zone view now. So
Right. Now you get a better view of it. Watch this shit, man.
I'm gonna
Also,
put it in
it's
slow mo here. So
51. So it's actually a linebacker that's coming in. It's a linebacker. So oh, that's right.
Because
They're
they
a
were
3-man
blitzing.
front.
They actually blitzed on this. So watch this.
Right.
yeah,
It's a
because
3-man front. So here you go.
59 comes here.
Remember I told you that 59 is on his inside shoulder. He's going for 51.
Yeah.
51 stunts, and he goes with him, and boom. Look at that. He takes that guy completely out of the play. That was a phenomenal play by him, bro. Because if he bit on that and tried to go across, or he should have tripped, like that was a
Can
great
you
play.
rewind that? Because I don't think he could have bid on it. Go back. The way that they ran that offense. Watch this. Because 59 pushes Brunskill back, right?
Right. Those two guys were supposed to collide into each other, and they didn't.
Right. And that's because of his wit, knowing what to do on that stunt. Go ahead. Hit it.
It's playing. It's I just got it on slow. So
all right, keep it. That's fine. My bad. Look at this. So Brunskill
He's
gets
ready
pushed.
for 51.
Brunskill gets pushed. They're supposed to crash, which they kind of does. It's like 59.
Nah, Mike switched off on that dude easy.
It didn't look like 59 got pushed into Mike. That's what I saw. That's what I'm looking at.
So what I see here is on a stunt, you're supposed to switch guys. Mike was ready to switch guys. It looks like Brunskill wasn't ready to switch guys.
But the guy
Brunskill tried to keep 59 to himself.
He
did. See?
Yeah. Okay.
And then Brunskill disengages. It looked sloppy on the play when it first happened, like full speed, like from the game copy. But that wasn't on Mike. That was on Brunskill.
Yes, I agree.
Okay. So then, now Mike's worst play in this game actually probably cost the Niners some points. So I can tell you this one also, Nick, is Ayuk's second handoff. If you can see Brandon Ayuk's second run, I believe it was also in the first quarter.
It was the third. It was the play. It was after this series.
Right. It was right after that first down. Soon after, Mike was hesitant to get to the second level, and so so before he pulls it up, let me describe it to you guys and tell you what I saw. Okay. So they snapped the ball, and Mike is looking for somebody to hit. Okay. Now you guys got to remember that this is a sweep. So Ayuk is coming from one side of the formation. He's coming all the way around. He gets the ball and he wants to keep running, right? Mm-hmm. But Mike hesitates to get to the second level. When he realizes what's going on and who he should hit, he goes up there, but that guy is past him. It's number 21. Number 21 forces Ayuk out of bounds. If Mike got to that second level earlier, if he was committed to that play and just went for it, then what would have happened was he would have been able to block that guy, number 21, from in front of Ayuk. It wouldn't have been a hold, and there would have been nobody for Ayuk to beat except for the free safety. So if Nick has that play, he can pull that up. That would have been a touchdown or a big gain at least. It was still a first down. It was still very efficient.
Was it a first down or was that the 9-yard gain?
I can't remember. I know it was still a big play.
Yeah, it was 9 yards.
All right, you guys ready?
Yep.
All right, so here we go. So it's 1st and 10, ball on the 49, quarter 1, 13:22 to go. So Brandon Ayuk is right here. He comes across here, then comes back.
He's going to go in motion. He stops. Now show them where Mike is. Well, it's all right. We'll show Mike from the other angle. It's okay. You can let it play.
Mike is right here.
No, Mike.
See, he got
Mike right there.
He got
right.
9
So
yards.
now watch from the other angle here. You can see it better. Oh, he ran it back. If Mike had have engaged with that guy earlier, Ayuk could have cut up and he would have only had 23 to beat their free safety. There would have been nobody else for him to beat. Now, all right, here you go. You can see it better. So show them, pause it, show
Mike
them where.
Right
no, that's not. Yeah. That's Mike.
Mike is right here.
Now watch this. If he gets to number 21 early, if he goes right there, watch it. Look, he's lined up perfectly in the gap because of the motion. I'm telling you, man, this was the worst play Mike had all game.
Nah, there was another one he got put on his ass.
One he got put on his ass.
The one he got put on his ass wasn't even a bad play by Mike. That was just the guy timing it right and getting him on his back foot. Now watch this. Now Mike has no one to get to. Look at him. He's looking for someone to hit. He should have ran upfield and got in front of 21, but he hesitated, so 21 got past him, and 21 is the guy who forced Ayuk to run out of bounds. Look at that. There's no one. Everyone else is covered. Ayuk would have only had 23 to beat. That would have been at least a huge gain, but it turns out not to be that.
Good.
So I have a couple more notes on Mike. I don't want to bore you guys with it unless you want me to keep going through it. But I have here. I said Mike had a day much like this. Small errors, wasn't really as bad. Wasn't really as bad as we thought initially. Can absolutely improve, but not the weak link that we stated he was. The sack on Mullins that came right down the middle. But watch Mike on that play. He locks down his guy and could have controlled him another 10 seconds if needed. He's overthinking at times, and that's the issue. One-on-one in pass pro, Mike looked really good. First play to read following. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm going down more plays here for Mike. So, but I have a ton of them like that where Mike actually looked really good all game long. And if you find the play where he tripped, I said worst play of the first half was the one to Ayuk. Second worst was the one, which was the play to read where he got put on his ass. I said worst play of the first half was a run to the opposite side for a first down. Sorry, and he lost his guy. The clip of him getting bodied was in the first half, but that was just good timing by the defensive tackle. So
what play was it?
Which one?
The one you're talking about, that if I found it.
I'm talking about two different plays. I was just reading the rest of what I wrote here. So I said the worst play of the first half was the run to the opposite side for a first down, and he lost his guy. So they didn't really talk about Mike in that play, and it didn't matter because the run wasn't his side of the field. They went behind Trent Williams instead. But he completely lost his guy. Like he didn't know who to hit. He was just standing there wasting space. He was just, covering grass. But I said the clip of him getting bodied, which is the one where he was thrown down, was in the first half. But that was just good timing by the defensive tackle. When these guys go back in their sets, they do like this kick step, right? Their feet never go back and forth. It's like a shuffle, like they back up like this with their feet. When Mike got to his back foot, that guy pushes him, and his momentum was already going back, and Mike just happened to fall. That was the worst play, and it still wasn't a bad play. So Mike did not have a bad game at all, even that play that they put him on his ass. I think that we owe Mike McGlinchey an apology. That's my thoughts, and y'all might not feel like you feel that way. I owe Mike McGlinchey an apology. My bad, Mike. You're improving. It was not a bad game for him at all. I don't know what PFF says. I haven't signed in the PFF to know what his grades were, but I liked what I saw from Mike McGlinchey this game.
All right, so is that the person that impressed you? Is that what
you're saying? It sounds like it.
Yeah, Mike McGlinchey. I mean, we killed Mike. So the person who exceeded my expectations, that's what you wanted to know, right?
Yeah. Well, we killed Mike. We've killed Mike because over a body of work up into this game that you just pointed him out on, he was having bad games. So that's why Mike got killed. It's not just because this one particular game.
But this game, he was really good, guys. I'm telling you, if y'all go back and just watch him on every snap like I did, he had a really, really good game. So I'm going to shut up. I'll let the people go.
Good job, Mike. Not you, Mike, but the other Mike. Good job to you and good job to McGlinchey. Now keep up the good work. Symmetry says take 2 out of this 5 and give McGlinchey for outstanding performance. Breaking it down like that looks like McGlinchey played well, right?
It was. I got more plays, but I just don't want to bore y'all with it. That's what I'm saying. You be hard pressed to find a bad play by Mike. Mike took on double teams. He was really, really good in this game, guys. I'm not saying I have nothing to gain by this. I've been killing Mike all year. I got nothing to gain by it. Mike had a good game, bro. If anybody knows the PFF grades, please post them in the chat, we'll pop them up here. Let me see if I can find it. But Mike had a really good game, guys. Even that play that he got put on his ass, it wasn't his fault. It was his fault because of footing and letting somebody push him like that. But it was good timing by the defensive tackle. If he had his opposite foot down, it would have never happened like that.
All right, keep up the great work, Mike. That's what I like to hear, man. Hopefully he keeps consistent and he has some guys to play next week because Fletcher Cox is coming to California, baby. So good luck. The whole first. All right, so the first, I want to break mine down by drives, right? So I got the first offensive drives, and it's pretty much a recap on what happened. And what stood out to me the most, a lot on the first drive, is they went 2 for 3. That's 66% on third down. You had that 3rd and 6 to Nick Mullins. You had Nick Mullins throwing the pass to Trent Taylor on the 3rd and 6. It was his only target all game, right? But it was that crossing route coming across the middle, thanks to Mike McGlinchey, right, who helped do what he had to do, picked up that block or whatever. And Trent Taylor is able to take that 3rd and 6 and gain 20 yards off of that to keep the drive alive, right? And then also shout out to Nick Mullins, even though this is not the player we're talking about. He also converted on a 3rd down, that quarterback sneak. So that was the second 3rd down. The third down was that tight pass throw to Kendrick Bourne with Bradbury. I think that's his name, like draped all over him, which going back to watch that, Nick, if you got to play, it looks like PI. That one, not the other one. The other one was a dope play by Bradbury. But if you find that one in the first quarter, it was on the first offensive drive. It looked like he got to the ball quicker than Kendrick Bourne was able to get his hands on it. But it was an incomplete pass. And then they had to settle for a 52-yard field goal by Robbie Gould. That was the first offensive drive. The first defensive drive, you get the tackle for a loss by Kinlaw, right, on the first drive. Fred Warner follows it up with another tackle. They only gained 3. It was a little short dump pass to the running back. I want to say it was Gallman. And then they try this old Statue of Liberty fake toss from the corner. And who falls on the ball? The guy that just got called up. He was pumping my gas at the gas station back here in New Haven, Connecticut. Mr. Deion Jordan falls on the ball, gets the joint. Niners get the ball back, and they get ready to start their second offensive drive. So which play do you have, Nick?
This is the incomplete to Kendrick Bourne.
Yes, let's go ahead. Let's blow this up. It looked like PI.
Hey, before we do that, can we find this comment and get it off the screen? I'm trying to find it, and I can't. Just so we can see everything clearly, that's all. No hate on Symmetry. Thank you for the contribution, brother. I just can't find it. Okay, thank you.
All right, you good now?
Hit it. All right, here we go. That's the angle we want to see. If you can get it to reverse, we can see it from the defensive side. He has his step
right here.
Boom. Early. Right there. Now, it just looked like he got there early. Might have been a great play by Bradbury. They didn't call the flag, but it looked like a flag should have been called, and I want to know what you guys thought about that. Now, there was another play later on that we could talk about that was an incomplete pass. It looked like Bourne got his hands on it, but he knocks it out of Bourne's hands. But replay that one if you could flip that angle for us, and we can all – there we go. There we go. Stupid camera wires.
While this is happening, Nick, he said he wants our opinions on the play. Do we think it should have been a flag? I've been talking a lot, so Nick, give your thoughts on it. Do you think this should have been a penalty?
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely there. He's definitely there a tad early. But when you slow it down, he's not making contact, and the ball is right there.
He is making contact. Nick. But he's not – what's the word? He's not interfering, like putting his hand on it, but his body is.
Right,
you know
his body is, yeah. No, I completely agree that his body's there. I think it's just too close to call, to be honest with you. Because the ball is right there in vicinity when he leans over to make the play. I think it was just too close. It was just a bang-bang type of play, and I think if the ball wasn't there as fast as it was and he did that, I think he would have been called.
So Mullins had a little bit of pepper on that pass right there. Like,
I think that's what they call a bang bang play. I think in real speed, that's a great no call by the refs. And you know what I'm saying? I remember this is the play that people were saying hit Bourne in the face mask and he's trash and all that stuff. The one thing I think Bourne maybe could have drawn a flag on, this goes back to that other game where he didn't fight for the ball. He won't extend his elbows. For whatever reason, he keeps his elbows bent. If he put his hands out like this, trying to reach for the ball, he might have maybe been able to draw a flag on that. But he had his arms like this and back and waiting for the ball to come in to the pocket. And so that's why I don't think it was a bad idea that they called the penalty on him. The defender's chest was definitely on Bourne's back. But, I mean, I think that's a bang-bang play, good no call.
Symmetry says a great thing. He said Fred Warner made a play like that also, no flag. I'm cool with it.
Yeah, I need to see the play that he did. But, again, Mike, there was 2 plays, though. So that play right there definitely looked really quick. There was another play where Kendrick Bourne did get his hands on the ball. It looked like he did reach out for the ball. Yeah, there shouldn't have been a flag on. It just was better defense. It was better defended by Bradbury. Like, he literally just said no and knocked, whiffed by his hands and the ball just just popped out of Kendrick Bourne's hands. So I thought Kendrick Bourne had some great catches. But if I had to say there was a player that I had to pick, we're talking about who excelled expectations. I'm gonna go with Brandon Ayuk. You know, as a rookie, I just don't expect too much from him. I don't care if he got drafted number 3, 4, 5, whatever. You know what I'm saying? 1, yeah, 3, 4, 5. However they draw it in there. But I would say that he definitely had an impact. He had a couple of runs in the first half, no catches. Second half, I don't know what the conversation was, but whatever it was, the boy came out and turned into like the Terminator. He was catching everything and throwing to him. So I thought he definitely exceeded my expectations because I definitely didn't expect him to, for him to be the target. I really think because of Jordan Reed's injury, it definitely upped the ante for him. And we stopped seeing Trent Taylor. We stopped seeing name all the other 49 wide receivers. Like they were like non-factors.
Trent Taylor,
Sanu had a big third down catch though. A big third
just one. Yeah, one catch for 9 yards. That was it.
Right. But yeah, man. So like this dude's definitely exceeding expectations, and that's the guy that I'm gonna go with.
All right. So I'm gonna go with man, somebody that exceeded my expectations. Who will I go with this game?
You can go with the tight end.
Nah, I mean I'd talk about Ross Dwelly already. I mean I wouldn't say they excelled my expectations with Ross Dwelly though, because I think Ross Dwelly's a great player. I think he's made leaps and jumps compared to what he was in this first year or two. But you've seen a little bit of what we seen yesterday at the end of the year last year when George Kittle was hurt, right? Like in the middle of the season, where he had that 3 touchdown game. One was called back, so he got 2 touchdowns. But he had a really good game. But I would say Jason Verrett, but I'm going to go with Jason Verrett. I expected Jason Verrett to have a decent game if healthy, but I thought he had a really good game. The reason I think he had a really good game was his tackling was really good. His coverage was really good. Man coverage was really good. I asked this question to a couple of my buddies, Frank and Brent and all them. What does this say for, I think I asked you guys as well, is what does this say for when Richard Sherman comes back? Who's the other opposite receiver or cornerback, right?
Who's opposite Richard Sherman?
Who's opposite of Richard Sherman? When Akello is healthy, Emmanuel Mosley's healthy, Richard Sherman healthy, and Jason Verrett is healthy. So it'll be interesting, but we'll talk about that in a little bit. But yeah, I would go with Jason Verrett, and I might even give a little bit of to Dante Johnson, just a little bit.
What?
He went from Dante Dookie to Dante Duke Johnson.
Okay, man. All right. He had like 2 good plays,
but he also didn't give up a whole lot of plays.
He gave up 4 catches. One was defenseless. Like one, he couldn't do nothing. It was just like the best move I ever seen. And he was there. It's just the ball was outside of his realm. That doesn't count. He gave up 4 catches. He had 2 penalties, if I'm not mistaken, in this game?
1.
Yeah. I thought it was 2, but it could have been 1. All right. I thought I wrote down 2. I'll try to find the 2. Could have been 1. Either way, he gave up a penalty. So did Jason Verrett, by the way. They called something crazy on.
Yeah, that was stupid though. They
called holding. The dude made a double move, and they touched bodies or whatever.
Well, the one hold on Dante Johnson was completely ridiculous. Like the dude he wrapped the dude like bear hugging him. Like that was horrible.
We talked about that in the halftime show or the overreaction show, and it looks to me, I don't know if you can pull that play up or not.
I thought it was 2-2.
It looks to me like
I'm trying to find the other one. Pull that play up for Mike.
It looked to me like Johnson went to jam the guy, and the guy like ran in between his arms, so it looked like he was hugging him, like his arms went completely around the guy.
Oh, but I ain't giving you that one.
No. I'm telling you what I saw when I watched it initially. This is what we said when we first.
Yeah. What
So
quarter? Does anybody know what quarter that was?
I don't remember. I tell you
It
what,
had
though,
to be early though because went out on the second drive, so it had to be. I think it was early. Dante, it was early.
It was at least the second quarter, I think. Who was? All right, so let's see. It was a penalty, right?
So while Nick, yeah, it was a penalty. While Nick is looking it up, I can tell you this: my notes on the defense are very short because we were on the offense a lot in this game, bro. And our offense was on the field a ton, and so I only have one play that I highlighted here. People were saying, "Where's Eric Armstead?" Eric Armstead might have been my guy that deserved more credit if it weren't for Mike McGlinchey. If it weren't for Mike McGlinchey getting as much hate as he got the first 2 weeks, then Eric Armstead would have been my guy because people were saying, "Where is he? He's not showing up." And I can tell Nick what play it is after he finds this.
I got it. It's 1st and 10 at San Francisco's 30, 8:19 in the second quarter. Did you hear me?
Yeah, you got to play it.
Yeah, no.
I'm about to say, we waiting for you to pop that joint up there. That's all.
Yeah, I got to.
You just got to stop and wait.
Give me a second.
Oh, okay, all good, all good.
Mike, I really like that. I really like that pick. I'm gonna throw some shade on a guy that you guys are really high on, especially Nick.
Now, while Nick is pulling it up, my note on Dante Johnson was this, and it's a short one. Like I said, I didn't get to see a lot of plays, but it says Johnson played a good game, and I was impressed. Better than what I thought, honestly. Y'all know I hype up Dante Johnson, but I'm a realist. I know what he is and I know what he's not, so far anyway. And I think he played a better game than what I expected of him. Now, that speaks to my expectations, not to what he actually played, right? But I thought that Johnson had a solid game. I think he had early game jitters, and after that, he was absolutely fine. His errors came early, and then that was it. Johnson was really good for the rest of the game. So I'll shut up so Nick can play the play.
All right, so you guys can see this, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, good. Because I can't see your guys' screen when I'm up, so that's why I'm just making sure. You got to let me know. All right, so here we go. Let's play it here. I'll play it here, and let's see. Dante Johnson is right here.
Is this the hold?
This is the hold.
All game long, Dante Johnson played the narrow side of the field. Remember, they talked about this week one when they asked Sherman if he was shadowing. Verrett played the wide side of the field. Johnson played the field side of the field. Johnson played the boundary.
Comes out.
No, it's okay. They'll show it on the other end.
Yeah, they will.
I think he went to jam that guy right there, and his arms went around the guy. It wasn't even to his side. That's a bullshit call, man. I hate that. But they weren't even looking that way.
Is that a BS call, Mike? Look how far back Dante Johnson is playing off that wide receiver. You only get 5 yards. So if the guy, if the wide receiver runs into you, bro, that's either a PI or.
But not always. You're allowed to make contact. You're not allowed to stop their route or their ability to catch the ball. That's what you have to remember.
I'm gonna find it.
Why didn't you play it from the other angle?
Coach's film.
Oh, because they follow the ball, don't they?
That's the live stream. I'm gonna pull it up in Coach's film. So give me 1 second.
Okay. By the way, I think we're only allowed to show Coach's film, but it'll be what it is for this video. I don't care.
I thought we were only showing Coach's film at first.
Yeah, well, it came up for some reason in this thing. So let's see here. So quarter 2, second quarter 8:14. So it's 8:19 on the thing. All right, let me go back.
I'm going to go back in the dark because it's starting to rain a little bit heavier here, and I don't want my wife to divorce me. So let me turn up my brightness, and that'll be the light that y'all get from me because I got to put this back in the shade here.
8:19 right here. All right, here we go.
No more crickets. So while Nick is pulling it up, again, guys, this is the first penalty on Dante Johnson. Oh, there it is. He's got it up now, so I'm going to shut up.
All right, so Dante Johnson.
He's going to be at the bottom of the screen, guys.
Yeah, I'll point him out. He's right here.
Can you make it full screen or no? Does it have to be with us on the side?
Yeah, I can.
Hold on, wait. Run it back one more time. I'll make it full screen. I know what to do. I got it. I'll make it full screen layout. There we go. Run it back from the beginning, Nick, because you can't see Johnson on this side on that angle. There you go.
Look how far back he
The
is.
line, no, but the line of scrimmage is at 30, so he can make contact at 35. Right there. That was
That's a
at the
hook,
35.
man.
That was at the 35. That's what he's allowed to make contact there. That's why I said I thought it was a ticky-tack call. You got to remember where the line of scrimmage is.
No,
Question was, did he
Mike,
wrap?
you can't hook, bro. You can hit in
Yes.
head on. You can't hook somebody. He literally hooks them.
That's why the
Right
flag
here.
was called.
He's holding right there.
That's from that angle. They show it.
That
They
is
show the
so
replay
cool,
on the
bro.
game.
He completely
He did-
turned the receiver in a whole different direction.
I don't know about that. I think that's the route that the receiver was going to run. I think because when you watch it from the TV copy and when they show the penalty again, Dante Johnson had his both arms around the guy.
Look,
Like
right here, Daniel Jones is looking at him. He's going to run this route right here.
Daniel Jones ain't looking at him. He's looking down the field.
He's looking down. Yeah.
Right, but I'm saying
He's not.
this is one of his reads. This guy's going to come straight through here,
That's Golden Tate.
right?
Yep.
Yeah, Golden Tate. And then Dante Johnson's like, oh, shit, comes up and literally hooks and spins the receiver. Watch.
There's the hook right there with the right arm.
Look at this. His whole arms is completely around him. There was no jamming or anything. He literally spins Golden Tate around.
I think you missed what I'm saying, bro. I'm not saying that he didn't. I'm not saying he didn't deserve the flag. I was trying to explain what I thought happened. And what I thought happened was I think he was trying to jam him with two hands. And then the one arm got stuck inside and turned the guy. I'm not saying he didn't turn him.
His arms go around the receiver at his waist level. Not in a jam.
No, they weren't at the waist. His hands were not at the waist, Nick.
You're watching the same shit I'm watching, bro.
I don't know.
Yeah,
Mike.
and that's why I don't understand why you don't see what you're saying. That those hands weren't at the waist; they were definitely above the waist. I think he was trying to jam the guy in the pads.
It
Bro.
looks like that. It looks the angle. It looks. It would have been hard to jam.
His arm.
Look! That's well above the waist. Wait, you can see the guy's
that's
hands.
right at the waist.
Nick, you can see the blue underneath. That the blue is the waist. That's where the jersey is.
We can't.
His
blow
hands
that up.
never go below the waist, Nick. Not
Bro.
one time do his arms go below the waist. Hey, look, we're arguing about something stupid. It was a penalty. He deserved it.
Look at it.
He absolutely deserved it. It was a legal contact. And now he's beyond 5 yards. That's 6 yards. He's beyond 5 yards. So
And
either
that's
way,
where
he deserved
contact
it.
starts.
All right. So I got a play for you to pull up, Nick. This is going to be one more on Eric Armstead on the defense. It's the only other play that I could find to highlight somebody who was deserving of an apology this game. All right. And it says the first third down by the Giants. We had a nice pressure play drawn up for Eric Armstead. Eric Armstead would have had a sack if Shark didn't lose his guy. So that was the play that everyone said, oh, Williams. Sorry, I hit the mute. That's the play that everyone says Williams got beat, right? But Williams, he lost his guy on that play. And because of that, Daniels was able to throw the ball a little bit faster. But if you watch that play from the all-22 angle, you could see that Armstead was right there. If Williams had his guy and made Jones hold the ball just a half a second longer, Armstead would have sacked him. So I don't know if Nick can find it. It was the Giants' very first third down play of the game.
Yeah, that
The
was
very first third down play.
It was to Golden Tate. Yep. And it looked like he just lost his footing on that.
Yeah, I don't know if he lost his footing or if he lost track of where the guy was, but whatever it was, he messed up. That was on Williams, and that allowed Jones to throw the ball earlier. He got a faster release than what was the play was actually designed for, and because of that, we missed on a sack on third down. That was a really good play by Eric Armstead. Armstead was on fire this game, bro. He was really good this game. He was in the backfield all game long. Like it was pretty impressive, honestly.
Yeah, it was cool looking at him play the edge and inside, which is what he normally does. But I thought he played both well. You know what I'm saying? He was getting around. He was getting pressures. This dude was doing his thing, yo. While Nick is getting that play, I do want to preface to the play that I have. Nick, do you have the play ready?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Oh, all right.
All Somebody has to do. Oh shoot! Hold on, I got to get out of this so I can do screen share.
Yeah, I'm about to say the screen share is not up yet. We can't highlight it. While you're pulling that up, I'm going to read this comment here from Sean. Thank you for the contribution. He said, I love Nick and Breezy's enthusiasm for Dante Johnson. Mike, I think Dante drank the urn cleaner pregame. Oh, here he goes. He is better than having a three-legged dog at cornerback. I guess that's a compliment, right? All right.
I mean, it depends which three-legged dog. I mean, is it the three-legged dog from The Simpsons or like?
Oh my God. That dog didn't have 3 legs, did he?
I don't know. I just thought
I wasn't much of a Simpsons guy. All right, so let's watch the play. I'm gonna shut up. We can watch the play here. All right, so let's highlight where Eric Armstead is. He's at the top of the screen there, right at the hash mark.
And
Make the
here's what you
circle
call
there.
it. And
Now,
there's K1.
Now at the top of the screen there's also K1, right where the right underneath the black line there.
Yep, the slot. Yep.
Now Fred Warner goes over there. He's in between them. All right. Now watch Armstead on this play. As soon as Shark loses his guy, Jones cues in on it and knows that's where he's going. Armstead was about to get a sack.
Look at that jump he had on that line, baby.
He was early. And look at this. He sheds the guy. Look at that stiff arm. He pushes the guy all the way out the way. He gets the double team.
That was a good route, man.
He's right there. He's right there. I'm telling you, if Shark doesn't lose his guy, that's a sack, bro. He was all over him, bro.
That was a good route.
Did they show the other angle? Watch the other angle of it. Here you go. He's on the inside over 75. He's right over the tackle. Watch him here, bro. This was beautiful. This was freaking beautiful by Eric Armstead. And I'm telling, oh my God, man. I really wish K1 could have held his guy a little bit longer, man. This is it right here. Watch my man Armstead. I'm gonna shut up.
Them crickets would shut up.
Oh, I'm on mute.
I'm on mute. No, you're not.
Yeah, he gets back there. Look at this. Look at that. I wish he just could have got his hands up right there. It was close. Yeah, we missed out on like 5 sacks in this game, yo.
For real. The pressure was there, though. The pressure was there all game long, bro. All game long, man. That's people were saying that Armstead's not showing up and he's not worth the money and all that. No, Armstead was balling, bro. He's been doing what he's done for last year. Since last year, he's finally healthy, and Armstead is playing like the first round pick he should be, bro. He really, really is. People think that these guys get more than $10 million a year. They're supposed to get 3 sacks a game. That's not reality. That's 48 sacks from one person. There's teams that don't get that many sacks, and so I think we have to be a little bit more nice with how we dissect and analyze these guys. My other note on defense here: Verrett plays with a different level of confidence than the other corners on the team, including Richard Sherman. I'm going to say that again. Verrett plays with a different level of confidence than other corners on the team, including Richard Sherman. He trusts himself, he trusts his feet and his ability like no one else on the team. Bro, here's the hot take. Here's the hot take. If Verrett can get healthy, he's the best corner on the team. And I know that doesn't sound like much of a hot take, but it's a hot take coming from me because I have spent the last, year and a half saying that Jason Verrett is washed up and we should get over that 2000, you know what I'm saying? That 2015, 2016 season. I've been saying that we should get over it, but Jason Verrett looked damn good in this game. Now he had some mistakes, but here's the thing though. When I say he had some mistakes and I say he was damn good and he might be the best corner on the team, I feel like people expect corners to come in here and have no receptions allowed. That's not reality. When quarterbacks throw the ball in the NFL 40 times a game, they're going to complete passes to wide receivers. That's not the end all be all. Even if Verrett allowed a touchdown this game, I would have the same exact feel because if you're targeted that many times, I think he had 5 or 6 targets his way and he allowed 1 or 2 catches, right? But it's the way he plays the game. I'm not worried about the outcome because if a player makes a good catch, you just made a good catch. That doesn't mean that the corner didn't do everything right on that play. Damn, I just realized my cup was sitting there the whole time. I thought that was my shirt. But just because a guy makes a reception doesn't mean that he didn't have the DB didn't have a good down. There was a play that was just a great catch. Verrett did everything right, and it was just a good catch. The other one, that's where Verrett messed up a little bit. But he only allowed 2 receptions from what I saw in that game. I saw 5 or 6 targets his way. There was a penalty one, right? But Verrett had a really good game, in my opinion. What are your thoughts on how the guy played?
I definitely thought that Verrett played very well. First play when they tested him, the first play, actually, the first throw when he came in, when he was in there, they tested your boy Dante when what's his name went out. Dante got burnt. And then they ended up switching the sides. If Verrett comes on that side and he absolutely immediately on a third down locks down Darius Slayton. Now, kudos to the defensive line though, because they were getting pressure on him and that ball was overthrown anyway. But the fact that he was with them stride for stride, step by step, no flag, that's something that we should definitely be talking about. Mike, I really feel disrespected. I think I get I think I understand your knowledge saying that he's the best corner, but like to say that is like, that's kind of like, nah, he's definitely not the best corner, because if Richard Sherman is healthy, he's still the best cornerback on this team. So I'm going to let you talk. If I'm understanding what you're saying, I get it. His confidence is there, and it definitely seemed like he was confident against this group of wide receivers. Breezy out here looking real bothered by the cricket sound. Yo, it's bugging. His confidence was definitely there, but let me ask you this question, yo. It should be there. Dude ain't playing in like 15 years. So this is his shot, right? This is his chance to go out there and show some stuff. You know what I'm saying? I get that Sherman is slower. I think, Mike, if you're alluding to the new scheme from the quarterback's coach, maybe Verrett is a better fit, but I still think at the end of the day, Richard Sherman is still the best cornerback until he's just not.
What I'm saying is he plays with the best confidence of any corner on the team.
I agree with you on that, but you also said that he was the best cornerback. That doesn't make him the best.
He trusts his ability, and he has more confidence in himself.
But they're
than any other corner on the team, and this is why I say that.
So let me ask you this question real quick, because I like that. That's dope. But this is Richard Sherman's. He's the total opposite. Richard Sherman, it's not that he doesn't trust his ability, right? He trusts his mind, right? He trusts the mind game he plays with the quarterback. So it's like, which preference do you want? Me personally, give me both of these mother suckers, right? And then let Mosley and Spoon come in and give these guys a break. That's how I look at it. Give me the ability guy that's going to trust his abilities and judgments and all that good stuff and has the confidence. And then give me the guy that's going to sit there and bait the quarterback, force the quarterback to either say, I'm not throwing to Sherman, or go ahead and throw and I'm going to jump the route. Like, pick your poison. But the key is, Mike, they both have to be healthy.
Now let me try to explain, because everyone's agreeing with you. Now let me try to explain, right? So when I say he's the most confident and trusts his ability more than any other corner on the team, so if you trust your ability, that means that you're not afraid to jam, because I think I'm quick enough to stick with him if I mess up on the press. So Eric Crocker posted a tweet today that was really, really good, and it said that press is a technique, not a. Press is a. Damn, I gotta find it, because he worded it perfectly. But press doesn't mean that you get your hands on the guy. Press means that you're right in his face at the start of the play, and then you do the speed turn, and you stick with him, right? Richard Sherman does not like to do that anymore, because he knows he's not as fast. So Sherman backs up and plays with more space. That means that he doesn't trust his ability, right? That means that, look, I know that this guy could get past me. I know that this guy could do X, Y, and Z if I get caught slipping. Now, Richard Sherman is still very cerebral. He's the most cerebral player other than Fred Warner, I think, on this entire defense. Maybe Tart. I would put Tart, Warner, and Sherman in that category. And any one of them, I'll tell you, you're giving me the right answer, right? But when the guy trusts his ability, I got to find this tweet from Eric Crocker, man, because he said it perfectly. People think that when you press, you have to jam at the line. That's not what it is. You play press with your feet and spacing. That's what press is, right? So you don't see Richard Sherman playing that much anymore. He doesn't do that much. Now, Richard Sherman used to be great at getting his hands on the guy, and people just assume that's press, because he got his hands on the guy to try to reroute him and force him to the outside and use the sideline as another defender. Go ahead, Breezy. I see you.
I would say that the hand part of the press, that's part of the technique of the press. All right. So Richard Sherman used to be a guy that say, hey, you're not stronger than me. I'm going to be able to jam you with my hands and still be able to turn around. And because of my ability of extending my arms, I'm going to still be able to, even if you have a stride over me, I can still turn my head, locate the ball, tip the ball, ask Michael Crabtree, right? Like, so that was Richard Sherman's ability, and he still does it. Like, he still does it. You see him get beat depending on who the quarterback is throwing to the wide receiver. You'll see him get beat from time to time, but you see him recover and catch up to that ball and still make a play on the ball. Now, the times he does get beat, though, Mike and Nick, is when you're just running these quick things across the middle, and Sherman just can't keep up anymore, right? He just can't keep up with that, with those slot receivers if he's ever lined up in that type of position. I think that's where Sherman, his play is. Or if a wide receiver has a great double move, right, and Sherman bites on the move, and then the wide receiver speed just goes juke, juke. I mean, but then your safety's supposed to be there, right? I mean, that's what your safety is there to cover over the top, depending on which side of the field they're covering on. So I can't go ahead.
I think this is the tweet right here that Mike is looking for. It says play.
I got to make it full screen because we can't. I'm going to make it full screen. So go ahead, you can read it.
Says plays press with more feet than hands. Good. Remember, press is an alignment, not a technique.
Yes, that's what I'm looking for.
Hips, feet, and eyes all work together here on the turn and run with Slayton. Got in phase looking to play chest to chest. Very encouraging rep considering we didn't know if he could still run.
Right, and that's from a DB who's played at the pro level, guys.
This is the play right here. So
remember, press is an alignment. It's an alignment, not a technique. And that's what is important for people to remember.
But I said the hand part is part of the technique of the press, right? It's part of that alignment. So if you have the hands to use to jam your wide receiver, you're taught that, hey, jam the wide receiver, get your hands on him. You have that space. Let
me ask you this question, Breezy. Let me ask you this question. What's the point of getting your hands on him? To force him inside or outside, wherever you want him to go, right?
Exactly.
So if they snap the ball and I want him to go to the sideline and I take away the numbers, you see where he is in this play? If I turn my body so that way he has to go towards the sidelines, it's just as effective without him putting his hands on it.
I understand that. I'm just telling you what players are taught from day one. Maybe they were taught wrong. DBs were taught wrong to use their hands. Maybe they should be taught more to use their feet and taught the alignment of what press is. I'm just telling you what it is, like what they've been taught. So if you got a guy growing up playing this position and they've been doing this the same, and now you're telling them, nah, man, that's wrong, do it this way. I get where it's coming from, but I was always taught, like, use your hands to disrupt the wide receiver's route, right? Make this guy go where we want him to go. Get him to go there or get him to go inside or outside. You figure it out and make it happen. But I like this. I like the definition of what it is.
That post that was up here by Jason Mears is wrong. Hands to disrupt timing, not to redirect or not to direct. That's not true. When they get their hands on these guys, they want to direct them in a certain direction.
Right,
but if they can't do it, you can do it with your body.
Yeah.
Right.
Correct. I agree.
All right, I'm going to play this play real quick.
Yeah.
That's all feet, man.
Yep. No hands involved at all in that play. No hands at all involved in that play. And that's what I'm saying. Jason Verrett plays with so much confidence in his ability. He's not worried about getting run past. You can tell by how he's lined up. And when they snap the ball, he still shuffles his feet. He doesn't even start taking a step back. He shuffles his feet and then he goes. That's confident. And that's what I'm saying by he looks at the play and he plays with more confidence. Richard Sherman doesn't have that in him anymore because I think Sherman knows that he's susceptible to a little bit more speed from these younger guys. And there's no knock on Sherman at all. Like, don't misunderstand what I'm saying when I put up one guy above somebody else in a certain situation. It's not a knock on Sherman at all because Sherman's still not going to be a liability. So I'm not calling somebody a liability by saying they don't do something as good as somebody else. That's not what we're talking about at all, guys. So please don't take it that way. I'm just saying that Verrett plays at a different level of confidence because he has the speed, he has the technique. And you guys heard me talk about for years, me defending Ahkello Witherspoon, right? I said Ahkello might get catches his way, but he's hip for hip. He's right there. He just got to learn to make a play on the ball. That's what I've been saying. Well, Verrett does that. Verrett does the hip to hip and he can make a play on the ball. Verrett doesn't have to turn his head around to see the corner. We saw that a lot in this game. We saw that a lot in this game here, where Verrett doesn't even turn to read the quarterback. He's playing the hands. Once your hands start to go up, this is Verrett in there. He's making sure that ball's not coming through easily. You got to do something miraculous to make a catch on him, and that's what I like about Verrett. That's all I'm saying.
I agree. Hey, I want to talk about a play. I want to move this along and get to this third quarter, right? So in the third quarter, and I rewatched this game, and I'm trying to figure out, and you guys can help me. I'm trying to figure out where Quan Alexander gave up all these quarterback runs, like these big plays on the runs. So I was sitting there, and I specifically watched 3 runs by Daniel Jones, and I rewatched them, and I'm saying, like, none of these were Quan Alexander's fault. Like we're blaming this guy for containment. He's not a fucking defensive end. Why are we blaming him for a quarterback where the defensive end bites on the play fake? Quan Alexander is following the running back on those plays. Go ahead, Mike.
I'm going to tell you why I think most 49er fans do. Most 49er fans of this era started caring about defense during Vic Fangio. And Vic Fangio had a 3-4.
Totally
so
different.
it was the responsibility of the outside linebackers.
Correct.
If the quarterback got out. So now they see the linebacker not in the middle, which is going to be Greenlaw or Alexander, and then they blame them if the quarterback has a successful run. But I'm assuming that's what the era is on most of these fans. But when you run a 4-3, it's different. Okay. Like you said, it's on the ends to contain the quarterback's lanes. That's on the ends, not on the linebackers behind them, because we run a 4-3, not a 3-4. So I'm going to shut up and let you finish your point.
All right, so I understand that Quan plays at 1 speed. All right, so he plays at 1 speed, and I get that. And I get sometimes he can over pursue on tackles, right? He'll miss tackles because he's flying around or he's already in the backfield and the guy didn't get there yet and the guy goes, but I get that. That happens from time to time. But I was specifically watching this game because I wanted to see where Quan was dookie, and I just couldn't find any dookie. I couldn't find it. I'm sorry, Nick. I'm sorry.
Hey, Nick, he's throwing shots at you, Nick.
I just couldn't find it. Nick, is this a play where he was dookie, or is this the play where Daniel Jones gets that run? Because I'm not sure what you got pulled up here, but if
this is the play where Daniel Jones gets 23 yards.
Oh, perfect. This is the play I'm talking about.
Yeah,
right?
the third down.
I want them to pay attention to what Quan's responsibility is. This coverage right here, Quan is lined up, right? I'm pointing to it like y'all can see me. I'm an idiot. I got you. I do this all day. Thank you, Nick. His responsibility is this running back. That's his guy. Okay? That's his guy, depending on what this guy does. You're going to see the dopest fake to the running back I've ever seen in my life.
You can tell a linebacker's responsibility based off of the first couple of steps of the running back. If he mirrors that running back, that's his responsibility.
All right. So when Nick pushes play, you're going to see Daniel Jones take the ball, give it to the running back. Legit. Everybody bites. The whole world bit. Look at that. Stop. Push pause. Why is Hyder? That's who he is. That's y'all guy. I'm getting loud because y'all love him. Let me back up. Why is Hyder biting on the fake? Daniel Jones sold the crap out of that play and gets 23 yards because your all-star bit on the fake. So as much as we big this guy up, Mike and Nick, as much as we give this guy his flowers, roses, dirty rose, whatever it is you guys send this guy every week, we got to we got to send him some dirt because that's a bad play. That's a bad play. I'm never on this show where I call out bad plays, and that's a bad play. So tell me I'm wrong. Walk me off the ledge. That's a bad play.
I would like Nick to run it back from the start of the play.
If it's Hyder, if it's not Hyder, I apologize, but I thought that was Hyder. It could be Deion Jordan. I could be wrong. Either way, the defensive end gave up the containment, and that's why.
No, it's Hyder here.
Thank you, Nick. I know I wasn't stupid. All right, cool. I'm good. All right, I'm listening now. I'm shutting up. Oh, Nick went and watch it again. I got you.
No, we watching. See, he over pursued there, yeah, and then left that whole side of the field open.
But it's not that he just over pursued, Mike. He legit thought that the running back had the ball. It
Right.
was a great sell of a fake, right? Great sell of that option. That what did it call? Not a run pass option, but what's the stuff Colin Kaepernick used to do?
Yeah, RPO.
Not
Run pass
RPO, the
option.
other thing before RPOs, because RPOs have the pass in it. What did we do? Oh my gosh, Colin Kaepernick didn't run RPOs. It was a different term.
You sure it's not an option play, bro?
Not
Run pass option.
That's what RPO. That's what it came to after zone read. Thank you, Symmetry. The zone read. Zone read is two options. You run it or you run it. Right? There's no passing in it.
Right. It's just a matter of who's gonna run it. If this guy bites, if this guy bites, I'm gonna keep it. If he doesn't bite, I'm gonna hand it off to you. Right.
Now here's what we might see this week playing the Eagles. Instead of it being a read option, thank you so much, guys. Instead of it being a read option, we might see the RPO now because Carson Wentz will throw out of that formation. Okay, so that's something we might have to look forward to, and we're going to see what's going to happen coming up when we break down who we're playing this week.
Hey, I'm going to give you all a bold prediction before it's time.
I'm with
Carson Wentz is going to get benched during this game against the 49ers.
Yeah, this might be the end of his career.
They already said that. They already said. Well, people said the question was asked to Doug Peterson, and obviously Doug Peterson said no. Carson Wentz is our quarterback. But on Sports Talk Radio, they're talking about we may see more of Jalen Hurts this weekend, as in more plays. We may see more plays with Jalen Hurts in this game.
Makes sense.
Instead of just Carson Wentz.
Because the 49ers struggle with this option read type quarterback. I got you. This RPO style quarterback. Okay. Well, 49ers will be prepared. I can promise you that. But if Carson Wentz plays this whole game, I think this might be the end of his career. All right.
Well, I think this game, week 1, and even a little bit of week 2, honestly, showed that the Niners are always going to be susceptible to a quarterback keeping the ball. And we saw that all of last year. You know, we struggle against it, and I think it's the type of defense that we run. I don't think there's an easy fix, because we tried to do the easy fix against the Cardinals in week 1, and it didn't work out for us. I don't think there's an easy fix. I think this defense under Robert Saleh is always going to be susceptible to a running quarterback. Period. I think that's always going to be the case. The thing is, some guys are just more shifty than others. Even when they had Kyler. Not so much contained, but under control, he's just faster and shiftier, and he can beat one guy in open field. Not every quarterback can do that anymore. So when we play the Patriots are going to try it, but Cam Newton's not that guy anymore. He's not a shake and bake guy.
No,
he's more of a one-direction guy, and it's not going to work for the Patriots when they try it against us. Now, I don't know about Jalen Hurts because I haven't seen him. I don't know what he's going to do, but I can tell you that a guy like Russell Wilson, who's a little more shifty, a guy like the little dude Murray, he's a little more shifty. It's gonna show that it's gonna be a liability for those kind of guys. And there's no easy fix, man. There's no easy fix.
All right, so I'm sorry, because when people come at me, I got to come back. So here's the thing: I'm not making excuses for his tackling. This wasn't about his tackling. This was about us blaming him all the time for giving up containment when you see a quarterback take off for a run, because that's supposed to be his assignment. Even in the play against the game against Arizona, right? His assignment wasn't to stop Kyler Murray. His assignment was to follow the mother freaking receiver down the field.
We saw D Ford play more containment in that week 1 game than probably any other game he's played in. So it's not on the linebackers for that part. It's why it's a wide 9. You keep those guys outside in case the quarterback try. Come on, man. Like we don't have to argue with the comments.
I'm not arguing with the comments. Hey, Big Tone, 707, man. Love you, bro. Thank you for the contribution, man. Appreciate you. I'm gonna get kicked off the show. All right, Nick, what we got next?
Hey, so we talked.
Y'all are giving me the plays, and I'm just finding them. So
you're doing a great job. We got offense, we got defense. I even have special teams. Special teams highlights. Nick, can you pull up kickoffs? So after the Niners score their field goal on the opening drive, the next kickoff, I want you to pull that up if you can. Listen.
I wonder who you're gonna highlight on this play, because if I'm not mistaken,
you already know who it's gonna be.
Okay. All right.
Marcel Harris And look, here's my special teams note. Here's my special teams note. Talk your shit, Breezy, on mute. That's what I'm talking about. Talk your shit on mute, Breezy. Look, here's my note for it. And it's one note for all the special teams. Marcel Harris plays with a purpose. Wow. In all capital letters. In all capital letters. Marcel Harris plays with a purpose. So if Nick pulls up, oh, he's got it. My boy is ready. All right, here we go. I'm just going to shut up. I'm just going to shut up and let y'all watch this.
Crickets.
I tried to mute. I thought I muted. My bad.
Oh man. Wait, so Mike, it's a tag team thing, bro. Because Tavarius Moore is right there, right?
Yes, he is. He is. But
who did we say, Mike and Nick? Who did we say we were gonna miss on special teams this year? Who did we say we were gonna miss? Mostert. My goodness. Nick is trying to talk. You're on mute, bro. You still on mute, Nick? Oh, we said we were gonna miss Mostert.
Right.
Who he said that was Webster. I need to see the play again. I thought that was Tavarius Moore. 33 is Moore, if I'm not mistaken. But that's what we said we were going to miss. We were going to miss the guy that could get down, the gunner, to get down the field. You know what I'm saying? To be the first guy down there. Marcel Harris is playing with a purpose. That means when he comes back in, and this is why I said, remember when we did Who Makes This Squad, and you guys were saying it was going to be the other dude, and I kept saying, nah, Harris makes the squad, and you guys kept saying, nah, it's going to be the dude that we signed from Tennessee, whatever his name is. I forgot him just that quick. Is he still on the practice squad? What is his name? Cyprian, right? We said it was going to be Jonathan Cyprian, and I was like, nah, I think I could promise you it was Marcel Harris, man. Like, it's going to be him, because Robert Saleh said it in his presser. When the kid came, he came in raw. He came straight off of like an injury, and we just threw him in the fire. So he was taking bad angles all day. And now I think that you've even seen him play on defense toward the end of this game. Go back and rewatch it. Guys, I always suggest that you go back and rewatch a victory and a loss. Go back and rewatch every game. You're going to look at it with a different sensation, because your nut's not going to be in your stomach the whole time wondering if your team is going to pull out a victory. You already know the outcome. So when you go back to watch it, you could really sit there and watch film. I actually enjoyed breaking down things. Mike does it a little differently. Mike, we talked about that. Mike said I focus on the trenches. I said I focus on the defense. So I have more defensive stats than Mike's little tidbits of defense. I got mad defensive stats that we could talk about. We didn't talk about Deion Jordan, right? He got a fumble recovery and a sack. You're talking about a guy that came off of somebody, the practice squad, got called up and said, here's your number. People were complaining about Ziggy Ansah. Guys, he came in fresh off of somebody's couch and was getting pressure on this quarterback.
Yo, Nick's a chump for phoning a friend. I like it, though. Nick phoned a friend on us, bro.
Baby. Phoning a friend. Crack time.
Look at this shiny suit head, yo. Look at that.
Damn, yo, my man. Yo, he manscaped his head, bro.
What's up with y'all, man?
Chilling, man.
Wow. What's up, Croc, man? Thanks for tuning in real quick.
Yeah. I know you guys had a debate. No pun intended. You guys had a debate going on talking about press. So I didn't really get the full question, but I
just describe press for everybody. Just explain what press is supposed to be all about.
Well, we talked about your tweet where you said that press is an alignment. It's an alignment, not a technique. So explain the difference to people who aren't understanding. And also there was another comment that said the hands are used to mess up timing and not reroute. So explain all of that for us.
So I'll answer the last part. Like messing up timing and rerouting is the same thing. So yeah, so we'll get that one out the way. All right, so there's different ways to press. There's a bunch of different techniques. All right. Press is an alignment jamming is the technique. So jamming is getting hands-on. Now, some coverages allow you to get more hands-on than others. If I'm a cover 2 corner, I can play it at the line of scrimmage and I can be more aggressive because I really have no vertical responsibilities. So I can be much more aggressive at the line of scrimmage. In other coverages, like say, like, just straight, if it's press 2-man, so 2-man, I have a safety over the top as well. I can also be more aggressive with my hands at the line of scrimmage as far as, getting the hands on the guy. If I'm playing in more of a single high defense, then I probably want to play more with my feet before hands. And the hands are a little bit definitely more secondary. Like if I can get hands on because maybe he's a bigger, slower receiver or whatever, great. But if I can't, I need to just get in position to be able to make a play on the ball. And sometimes you'll get hands on. Sometimes you'll be able to, jab the receiver, hit him. Sometimes you won't. But you can't stand there and really focus on getting hands on, because if you do, sometimes you'll likely stop your feet and you'll be burned. And if you're in a single high defense, it's cookies. So you'll see some guys like Verrett. You watch him, he doesn't use his hands at the line of scrimmage. He plays with all feet. Witherspoon, a lot of times, plays mostly with feet. You'll see a guy like Richard Sherman, who a lot of times throughout his career has played more with his hands. So you'll just see what guys are more comfortable doing. But overall, like what I teach guys is it's not so much about just manhandling the guy at the line of scrimmage. When I line up in press alignment, I want to stay as close to the receiver throughout the route as possible to force a tight window throw. That's my main goal. So it's basically, I'm just, if I'm just standing right here by you and I just want to stay wherever you go, I want to go. That's really my main purpose in press, especially depending on the coverage. So I know I kind of said a lot. I hope that answered some of the questions.
Yeah, ain't nobody commenting because you like the football god. So nobody's saying nothing bad. Everybody talk about your bald head. Other than that,
yeah, I saw
that. Croc, the funny thing is people just didn't know that you've always been bald.
Yeah, I've always been bald. I just wear hats all the time.
He always wore hats though. Like, you know what I'm saying? So
Croc has been
bald. You ain't always been bald. You have braids and all that.
You ain't bald years.
Yeah, but I mean, like, in the last 2 years, I've been bald for sure.
Yeah, we just don't. I've never seen it. He's always had a hat on.
So I had a hot take comment, and I want to get your opinion on it.
Yeah, for sure.
And it was that Jason Verrett plays with more confidence in his ability than any other DB on this team.
Yeah,
I want you to tell me if you think I'm right or wrong, because people said no, Richard Sherman, and I'm talking about. Well, I won't tell you what I was talking about. I want to get your thoughts on it. Jason Verrett plays with more confidence and trust in his abilities than any other corner on this team.
If I'm solely judging him and everyone else, like just off of what I saw in the Giants game compared to what I've seen from everyone else, yes, that's facts. He played with more confidence, I believe.
Okay. All right. That was all I had. And I want to read this comment here from Big Tone. Thank you for the contribution. He says, on that play, Mr. Rubin Sr., since we got rid of one human missile that can't tackle for another human missile that can't tackle, always outruns.
Alexander, guys.
Yeah. Okay. He's talking about Alexander here. I don't know if y'all have a response for this one, but I wanted to pull it up here because it was a contribution here. So he's saying that. All right. So Nick, can you pull that play up again that we're debating about? And I want to know what Croc's idea is, because Croc has played in pro defenses. So I want to know what Eric Crocker's thought is here. So what we were saying was the defensive end was supposed to play the containment on the quarterback. It was like a 29-yard run, something crazy.
23-yard run, yeah, by Daniel Jones. It was a zone read. Yep.
And our take here on the show was that wasn't the responsibility of Alexander. It was the responsibility of the defensive end. So Nick is going to pull that play up. I'm going to shut up, and then I'll see what Eric thinks after Nick plays the play. So how did you, while Nick is pulling that play up again, I want to know what you thought of Dante Johnson. I know you did your whole thing on Verrett, but what did you think of Johnson in this game?
I think Johnson looked like what I expected him to look like. I mean, he is an NFL cornerback. So, he had some ugly moments. He kind of has clunky feet a little bit. So I saw one play where, it wasn't thrown his way, but he was way off balance. Obviously there was the pass interference call, but he also made a couple plays. Had a nice pass breakup. There was another pass that was thrown his direction. He had terrific coverage. It was incomplete. So it was what I would expect from my fifth cornerback. A little up and down, but it's like he didn't kill us. Like it wasn't like they were just like, oh, we're just gonna pick on Dante Johnson and just continue to go at him. So from that standpoint, I'd say it was a win.
And see, that's what I said. I said he exceeded my personal expectations. I thought he did a little better than what I expected for someone like that. So
yeah,
all right.
I think
Nick
people have to look at like what their expectations are for players and what those players are used to being. I don't think people do that enough. I think they look at everybody like everybody's supposed to play like some type of superstar or whatever, and like that's not who that guy is, and that guy's not going to always make those type of plays because he's not that. But yeah, so that's kind of my two cents on that.
That's exactly how I prefaced it. I said based off of my expectations. I said that over and over. It was based off of mine. So all right, Nick, run the play and show. So we got Alexander at the outside, the bottom hash here. That's where Alexander is. And Nick is going to go ahead and run this play here. I want you to tell us who is supposed to be containing here to cut off the lane for the quarterback.
Oh, yeah, that's it. No, that's not it, right?
This ain't the play at all.
Nope.
No, this ain't the play. All right, so we have a little
I grabbed
bit of
the wrong one. My bad.
It's all good. It's all shit happens. Hey, I'm down to 12%. I'm gonna have to run inside and load up the laptop soon. But while Nick is pulling that next play up, hey, Eric, man, did anybody surprise you in this game? While we got you on here, I don't know how long you're here for, but did anybody surprise you or stand out during the game that you were like, damn, this guy played a pretty good game?
Oh, Verrett. I mean, I know we talked about him, but to not play or to not, since 2017, not start a game since 2017, coming in not just off of injuries throughout the last 3 years and some pretty bad ones, and then get bombed on against Pittsburgh. We were all at that game, but also the an injury just now. He's coming off of a hamstring injury, and I was curious, like, man, what's it gonna look like? Like, what's Verrett gonna look like? We haven't seen him play. And when I saw the all 22, I was more than impressed with the level of confidence that he had in himself. I mean, he was squatting on routes. That told me he's not afraid to get beat over the top and felt like he could run with vertical routes. And then he did, right? Anytime they tried to go vertical on him, he was right there in that hip pocket. And then when they did break off routes and run curls, run outs, he was right there sitting on everything and contesting everything. And that had been kind of some of my issues with some of the other guys that, we allowed DeAndre Hopkins to have 14 catches. And most of it, like, not contested at all. It's just like, okay, let me just catch it, turn up field, go out of bounds. He pretty much did whatever he wanted to do. Watching Verrett and how he played, again, didn't have to play against DeAndre Hopkins, but just that level of confidence, I think that was just extremely impressive out there, jumping routes, running digs for guys. When they did have him run a slant, broke it up. Comeback route, broke it up. Like it was just, it was extremely impressive. Ran a screen his way, no gain. Like that was some big time stuff.
Nah, that I think it was actually a loss on that play. He was there, bro. Like he shed the blocker and made the tackle. I was really impressed on that screenplay. Yeah. All right, so Nick has the play here. We're gonna hit play on it, and then let's break this thing down here.
Running back real quick, one more time. It might be the end. It might be the backer, but I'll tell you who kind of screwed it up the most in my eyes because of kind of what we're taught. But Dante Johnson, as a corner, when the receiver comes down to crack, you have to replace. The receiver right now is running down to crack on the backers. He has to come off and now be the force player, and he didn't do that. So that's just my experience from how I've kind of been taught. You see that receiver come down and crack in the run game, you are now the force defender. So I'm not sure with those guys, the linebacker or the DN, but I do know that the cornerback definitely could have helped in that situation, at least the way I was taught.
So do you think because of the read option on that play, because the end and the linebacker both crashed in on the running back, they thought the running back was going to get the ball. That's how Daniel Jones sold that, and he took it over. You saying that it was the DB's responsibility to fill in that space?
Yes. Now, also saying that one of those guys dove in. I mean, well, both of them dove in so much that even the receiver who's going down the crack, he don't even have nobody to crack because both the guys ran in at the quarterback. So somebody definitely messed up. I don't know what they're told. Like, there's just two different ways you can play it. There is a way where your end does not crash down and he kind of stays flat and he can squeeze until he's for sure that the back has the ball and then come down. Or he can wait, and if the quarterback pulls, then boom, he can go get it. And the linebacker fill a gap. But there's also, they could tell the end, hey, you crash, and that linebacker is going to come around. So typically it's the end that's not supposed to crash. Okay. But overall, I think that was just a crappy play ball. All three of them, to be honest.
Now you said typically it's the end. What about in the 3-4? What we were running with Fangio here? Doesn't that change the responsibility then?
Then I mean, it would just be a linebacker.
Right.
But
and
I mean,
exactly right.
But 3-4, 4-3, it's not as different as as much different as people think.
Right. So all right. The reason why I blamed Hyder on that is because there was another play where Hyder did contain, and he got, Daniel Jones didn't get outside, and he was able to get to him because he was like, you're not gonna fool me. And I think it was before that play. So there could have been a miscommunication there. Somebody did the wrong thing or whatnot, and that's why I was a bit confused because we've been blaming Quan Alexander a lot for bad containment, missed tackles. I think a lot of people missed tackles on this team, but we've been really blowing him up, saying he's just not looking good. And I get it; he doesn't look as good as he did games 1 of last season, game 1 and 2, up until his injury. So my question is just like, how much of this is on him? Like, how much is it really on him? It just seemed like on that play, typically, like you said, the end is supposed to contain. So, like you said, we don't know what was going. Yeah.
Well, the biggest thing too is we don't know is, like, have the Giants showed that they were going to run any read option in their first 2 games? Because if they didn't, or zone option, whatever you want to call it, if they haven't shown that they were going to run it, the 49ers maybe just didn't prepare for it. Okay. And then now it's like, oh damn, okay, even though it happened twice, but it could have been something. Oh, 3 times. Okay, 3 times. Excuse me.
One got called back though because they had some type of penalty.
Right. So it could have been something where they just didn't game plan for it, and by the time they were kind of hitting on it, the game was starting to get out of hand to where it could have been like, you know what, like that's not what's going to beat us right now. Him running, for 10, 15 yards or whatever. That's not going to beat us. That could have been a thought process, but it's really, it's kind of hard to know. But yeah, if Daniel Jones, if they haven't shown the read option, the 49ers really very well have just not been prepared for it.
Okay.
Right.
Now, do you think that is something going forward that they're just going to try to adjust to, even if a quarterback hasn't shown it? Because we were talking a little bit about previewing the Eagles game. And if Carson Wentz has a bad first half and they throw Jalen Hurts out there, what are they probably going to run? Like the read option. So do you think?
With the 49ers, I mean, they should know how to adjust, especially if they have a quarterback like that. They face Russell Wilson twice a year, face Kyler Murray now twice a year, face Lamar Jackson last year with that type of offense. So they'll have it instilled in their heads how to defend that. So if they do have to make the adjustment on the fly, because maybe Jalen Hurts comes in, they should have kind of a plan to be able to adjust and it not be foreign to the defenders on the field, even if it wasn't something that they prepared for going into the game because they were prepared for Carson Wentz.
Gotcha. Croc, so real quick, and I'm gonna let you out of here, but there's 2 questions here for you, and one is a contribution. So let's get to this one real quick. It says, question for Croc: how would a Sherm and a Verrett work if one player plays more zone and the other plays more man?
So man zone.
Are they saying like on the okay, hold on.
So if they're both on the field
they're
and one
both
is
on the
better at
field, they're
man
playing
and
man
Sherman
zone.
being better at zone, how would that work with this defense?
Oh no, they just play their defense. And really a lot of this stuff, even a lot of stuff I was showing with Jason Verrett, it was zone, it was quarters. A lot of it was quarters. So yeah, I mean, they did line up, they did do some press, but there was a ton of quarters. That's why you saw him bailing out a lot. He just was so confident in his ability that he wasn't playing his zone soft. It wasn't like, oh, I'm just going to sit off and let them catch everything in front of me. He was even challenging sit down routes in his zone. So it kind of looked like man probably to people, but he was really playing zone.
Right, because you could see Dante Johnson playing back on the weak side of the field. He played back a lot more, kind of like Sherman does, sits back.
And also sometimes if you're to the single receiver side, then like, and you have no other threats, then you can play it like man as well. So it still can be a zone call, but if I'm to the single receiver side and there's no other threats, I really can play this like man. So people might see that as well.
Right. All right. And then Symmetry says, curious to know, what do you think of Jay Tart? So Jaquiski Tart's play so far through 3 games.
I think he's been sound. My biggest knock on the 49ers safeties is they don't take the ball away enough. And, he right place, right time on the tip against Arizona, got an interception, dropped the interception last game, had one hit him in the stomach. He dropped that one. I was like, I want you to come down with that Tart. But both 49ers safeties, they are sound. They're typically not going to be the issue. If something is going wrong in the game, you're typically not going to say, oh man, Tart, terrible, or he's getting burnt over the top, and he has bad eyes, or Ward bad eyes, and some of the things. I don't know if you guys watch the Cowboys versus Seahawks, where you got 2 safeties up there, and both of them got their eyes glued to Russell Wilson, and then you got Tyler Lockett just run right by both guys, and then you had DK Metcalf going. 49ers safeties don't ever have those type of issues. So, I never really have to worry about. I never go into a game like, man, Tart and Ward, I don't know. I always know they're going to do what they're supposed to do. I usually would like to see them make more plays on the ball. But, obviously so far, yeah, they've been very sound. I think Marcel Harris came in and forced 2 fumbles. I think he was credited for that.
He did.
Yeah. So, that's my guy. So he almost got beat. Now, Marcel Harris, he fell asleep on that deep route. He fell asleep on that deep route, and it was an underthrown ball. He was able to catch up to it and make a play on the ball. Terrific. But he fell asleep. And those are things that we typically don't see from Tart Ward.
Good point.
Yeah, no. Appreciate it, man. I know you're watching the debate, so I appreciate you jumping on here and talking some football with us and explaining all that stuff to the guys. So I appreciate that. You're more than welcome to stay if you want, but I know you got.
I'm gonna get off with the wife, and then I got my Madden off season.
Yeah. So I don't want you to think I'm just kicking you off, but I appreciate it, Croc, coming on. And we gotta get you on a show and do some film breakdown on a couple of these guys too. So
definitely, I'll make sure I wear a hat next time.
Yeah, right.
All right, guys, I'll see y'all.
All right, guys, take it easy.
Peace.
All right, so we've talked about offense, we talked about special teams, we talked about defense.
Great show.
Overall, man, I think we're wrapping this thing up here. I think we're coming down to the end of this. I could be wrong. If you guys got more that you want to talk about, let me know. But I do want to ask you guys some questions about the game overall, right? Can we? I know we did it in the overreaction show, but this quarterback controversy, and I'm air quotes with that controversy. Is it one? Let's be real here. Is it one, or did a backup quarterback just do his job?
I wish you wouldn't have said that, Mike. I wish you wouldn't have added that disclaimer in there. But go ahead.
Oh, Nate. I'm sorry. Well, let's.
Look, I told you this before. Look, these questions were being asked before the game was even played, right? Chris Biederman came out, asked the question like, "Well, if Nick Mullins comes out and plays really well, and he throws for 350 yards and 4 touchdowns. When Jimmy Garoppolo is healthy, does Jimmy Garoppolo go back in the lineup? Like, look, it's all about the media, right? So, look, the kid did his job. That is what his job is to do, is to manufacture the offense while the starter is down and have confidence in himself and be able to go up and down the field. That is his job.
Mm-hmm.
Kyle Shanahan expects that of him. But to say that just because he has a really good game and he looked good here and there, you also got to look at the competition you're going up against. The game all in general, just the game was in our hands pretty much the whole game. And I'm saying that as in not by score-wise, but as in possession-wise and control of the offense. Look, Nick Mullins is that. There's not one single person I think that's more of a bigger fan of Nick Mullins than me. I mean, we talked about this 2 years ago when I took the shit for why are we starting CJ Beathard? Nick Mullins is a guy here that can run this offense. And it's like, really, you want to start a practice squad quarterback? Well, look, he's not a starting quarterback, right? But I bet you what, you put him in the right system, the dude's going to work hard, and he's going to play his ass off. And is he better than a Mitch Trubisky? Is he better than some of these backup quarterbacks that are out there? 100%. Is he better than Jimmy Garoppolo in all phases of the game? Absolutely not. While he can manufacture this offense and keep it going, he doesn't push this offense forward. When Jimmy Garoppolo is at his top, that's what he does. So, no, there's no controversy for me.
Yeah. If you put Nick Mullins on another team,
Breezy,
and you ask this guy to go out there and win you 10 games, he'll probably win you 4.
Ooh. No,
and this is no shade to Nick Mullins because he fits this offense. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? He fits this offense. In other words, Nick Mullins is Matt Castle. Okay? You know how Matt Castle came in for the Patriots and took him to the AFC Championship and all that good stuff. Nick Mullins can come in here because of this system and do probably some of the same things we do that you see Jimmy Garoppolo do. There's no way in the world you thought Matt Castle was better than Tom Brady. If you did, you ought to smack yourself. You can smack your mama while you're at it because she'll smack you too for saying some crazy stuff like that. That's like saying that Nick Mullins is better than Jimmy. Are there some things Nick Mullins looks a little bit better at than Jimmy? Probably. His touch pass looks a little different. He's able to get the ball, be due to height and velocity and getting the ball to flow over the top. Yeah. But there's no one more cerebral on that offensive side than Jimmy Garoppolo. And that's the guy I want leading my quarterback. You want to talk about tough? Show me a guy that played with one freaking leg and one ankle and still went 8 for 8 and finished the game with 14 for 16 and was about to light the whole world up because y'all talk smack about that cat.
Turn down for what?
Get out of here.
You know, it's funny because I was watching a show the other day. I was watching Grant Cohn and this kid Vish, right? And they asked about Nick Mullins, and Vish came up with a really good complimentary pick to Nick Mullins. And he said, Nick Mullins is your Ryan Fitzpatrick. That's what he is. Okay. He's one of those guys that's going to be a hard worker. He's going to do everything that you need. He's going to prepare himself, but he may have a 15-year career, but it may be a starter here, a backup there, a backup here, a starter there, and bounce around because of systems. And it just goes to what Wayne was just saying.
I don't like that comp, bro.
No, well, I like the comp for a career sake because he's going to be a starter while a team searches for their starter.
And right, he's a stopgap quarterback. That's
right,
exactly what he was saying.
Okay,
because it's a fact that Ryan Fitzpatrick has a better arm. He's more cerebral than Nick Mullins. I know people think that Nick Mullins is this.
I think Ryan Fitzpatrick is just tough. He's like a Viking. Like he's just a tough guy. You beat him up, he keeps getting up. Matter of fact, we got to play this guy. Hopefully, he'll be declining by week 5. If not, this is a guy that can get outside the pocket, extend plays, scramble, does what he has to do because he's been on every team in the league, right? He knows.
He's going to be a hell of an offensive coordinator or defensive coordinator one day.
Oh,
right.
that's
what I think. And
he went to Harvard, Yale, one of them.
He went to Harvard. He went to Harvard. Yeah,
he's a smart guy.
But that's the thing, right? So that they were comparing those two, as in, Nick Mullins and Ryan Fitzpatrick, they're kind of the same quarterback in this league. They're both going to play really long. They're going to be a stopgap quarterback until they get their guy. And they're both very smart. They're both going to work their ass off to get where they need to be. And that's where he was getting that comparison, right? So I don't want to say it was in play, but that's who Nick Mullins is in this league, right? Because, look, he may be a quarterback next year, right? We may lose him. He may be a starter somewhere or a backup somewhere and take that starting job if something happens. But I think that it's very crucial. This is where I don't want to go to controversy, but it is very crucial right now because if you have that much faith in Nick Mullins, Jimmy Garoppolo does need to continue to grow in this year of his contract because there is that out, right? And not to say that Nick Mullins is the guy that's going to take over, but if they don't see the growth that they want from Jimmy Garoppolo, they may say, okay, Nick Mullins is our stopgap until we get what we want, and we go from there. So that's where I think some type of controversy comes in is because of the way that Jimmy Garoppolo's contract is right now. And this is an out year for Jimmy Garoppolo. If he doesn't grow or doesn't stay healthy, that's an option. So,
and then everybody should be happy that we have a guy in the system who can sit here and run this particular offense. You know,
2 years ago, we would have lost that football game. We would have lost the Jets game. We would have lost the Giants game, and we would continue to lose right now without the depth pieces and a quarterback that is capable of running this offense.
Yeah.
Now, look, Jimmy Garoppolo, look, I was wrong. I'm going to eat crow, right? Because Nick Mullins has grown a lot. If we're talking about Nick Mullins, because his arm strength got better. He hooked up with 10 different receivers where before he used to focus in on guys. And you would see like, okay, I'm going to go to this guy. I'm going to go to this guy. Dante Pettis was on the field for 8 snaps. Didn't even say a single throw, right? He went to the rookie. He went to Jordan Reed. You know, he went to Kendrick Bourne. So he spread the ball around.
Sanu, his running backs, Hasty.
And this is what people are forgetting about all of this is that this team, even with all these injuries, Jordan Reed, when healthy, is a top 3 tight end. Right? You have, I know we all love Joe Staley, but we have the best left tackle in the NFL right now. We highlighted how good McGlinchey played at the top of the show, right? He played that game really, really well, right?
Oh, can we add some flowers to our guy Brunskill, who also has been struggling this season? Because on that run, on that touchdown run with Brandon Ayuk, where he went untouched, McGlinchey, Garland, and Brunskill, was it Brunskill? Might not have been Brunskill on that one.
Second level guys.
It was a second level. They got down there fast and put a hat to somebody. Somebody was out of the play because he went untouched. So I add that in there.
Before we go over that, this comment is exactly what I forgot to say was we seen him throw from those different platforms where we all give credit to Jimmy Garoppolo for being able to throw up, over, down, changing his arm angles. Well, we seen that from Nick Mullins in this game. So he's symmetry is right there. I totally forgot about that.
Did we see Nick Mullins throw from multiple angles?
I did. I seen him rolling. I seen him throwing from rolling out, changing the direction of his arm.
I didn't see any change of the arm. I saw the rolling outs. I saw the back leg like Jimmy does. We be hating, but he did it and completed a pass to Kendrick Bourne, right? Because it looked like he was about to get sacked and boop, dart right there to Kendrick Bourne. I
didn't see any sidearm throws.
I didn't see that.
I saw generic throwing motions from different spots, maybe outside the pocket, in the pocket, dropping back and making those throws. But when I think arm angles, I think sidearm. You know what I mean? I think, throwing up from higher and dropping it in. I think, that's when I think throwing angles, that's what I think. I don't see that in Nick Mullins. I don't see that in him. But I could be wrong. And another thing that people have to keep in mind is what you see in this system doesn't mean that he would be better in another system. I don't believe at all for a second that Nick Mullins is better than Sam Darnold. Sue me. I saw someone say he would start for the Jets. I don't think he would beat out Sam Darnold. I don't. The Jets just have a bad system. The Jets have a bad team. You put Sam Darnold on this team, I think that we're okay instead of Nick Mullins. Instead of Nick Mullins, I'm talking about. So these are my thoughts. I'm not speaking for Nick. I'm not speaking for Breezy. I'm talking about Mike's thoughts here. I don't think that he's better than Sam Darnold. I don't think he would beat out Sam Darnold in this system. I don't think he would beat out a Ryan Fitzpatrick in Miami. I don't think that he would beat out a Daniel Jones in New York. And these are the worst teams in the league right now, right? I just don't think that he's beating out those quarterbacks. We're talking about quarterbacks, not systems. Nick Mullins is a product of the system that Kyle Shanahan runs here, and he's damn good at operating it. We talked about how all these all-star running backs that Kyle Shanahan had in his time here, right? And during the offseason, I said, I think Kyle Shanahan has the perfect running back for his system in Raheem Mostert. And people gave me crap for it. That's fine. I'm hot take Mike, right? I'm hot take Thotty, right? That's what I said on Twitter. But prove me wrong. Just because a guy is good in his natural ability doesn't mean that he's going to be good somewhere else. I don't think Raheem Mostert sees the same success on a different team that he sees here with Kyle Shanahan. I think that Shanahan found the perfect running back for this system. And that's how I feel about the backup quarterback position here. I think Nick Mullins is capable of running it. And that there's a huge difference, guys. We just have to keep that in mind when we watch these games. We can't just sit here and try to look at stats and all that stuff. That's just how I think. That's just how I think. You guys can tell me I'm wrong. You guys can agree, whatever it is that you want to do. But you have to keep in mind the system that these guys play in. You know what I'm saying? That guy that got all that money from Green Bay for that game against the Lions where he outdueled Matt Stafford. What's his name? Flynn, right? Matt Flynn went and got $10 million from the Seahawks and lost his job to a rookie. Russell Wilson beat him out, right? Yep. He didn't fit that system. So, you know, that's just how it is. You know what I'm saying? And David Yang, this is a good comment here. How's Breida doing in Miami? He's not even a starter.
I tell y'all?
That's the point. Certain guys perform better in certain systems. Every single successful quarterback that we have ever seen in the NFL, aside from Peyton Manning, but Peyton Manning brings his system with him. But every successful quarterback that we have seen in the NFL was tied to a head coach that had a specific system for that quarterback. And that includes Joe Montana. That includes Steve Young. You know what I'm saying? That the list goes on and on. Any guy has to be in the right system. He has to be in the right system. Otherwise, it's just not the same thing. I don't care who you're talking about. Any all-time great, they tie to a system. That's just how it is. So I'm not dumping on Nick Mullins. I'm glad he's here. I hope they extend Nick Mullins. I hope they keep him as a backup for years to come. But we have to pump the brakes on this controversy nonsense in my mind. In my mind, it's nonsense. You're on mute, brother.
My bad. Got feedback now.
I don't hear any feedback.
Wayne, you hear it?
He said,
no, I don't hear it now. No, like I said, you know, Nick Mullins is that stopgap guy, and he can do what he needs to do right now, and you know that's what we ask of him. We got to ask him to win these games, and come out here and play. And it sucks, man, because we're over 2 hours now, and we didn't even get to talk about why did the team bring back the tight end that we brought back. I know some fans were asking about that for us to touch on, and then what is the plans for JaMychal Hasty going forward?
Yeah, we forgot to talk about how well the running backs performed in this game. All right, what was the first question you said? What was the first part?
The first question was our thoughts on bringing who was it? Chase Harrell? Was it Harrell that we brought back?
Oh, that's what we have to talk. Yeah. We have to talk.
We brought back David Helm. I thought
team,
David Helm. That's
Daniel Helm. Daniel Helm.
Yeah, Daniel Helm.
So the team signed him from. It was one of those Florida teams' practice squad. Tampa's practice squad. They signed him, and Chase Harrell is still down there looming. So I'll give my opinions last, unless y'all want me to go first. I was just speaking. So Breezy, maybe go first because you haven't said anything yet.
It's real simple. They want 4 tight ends on the roster, ready to go, and I think that's the whole plan. That's what Kyle said at the beginning of training camp. You know, he wants a certain amount of people. We started with 4 tight ends, and we're going to continue to have 4 tight ends. So they brought him. Why not Chase Harrell over Helm? I really don't know. Go ahead.
The thing is because we brought him from a practice squad. So once he's signed from a practice squad, he has to be signed to the 53.
Right. Right.
So that's why it's not. It's look, they didn't see Chase. Maybe Chase Harrell didn't progress the way that they were thinking he was going to, and he's still a practice squad eligible guy. To where if you sign Helm, who was here before and played in this system, you sign him. If he was a free agent, you could have put him on the practice squad.
Right.
But since he was on a practice squad, he's got to go to the 53.
So the team could very well elevate Chase Harrell on game day.
Yes, they
and
can.
just not activate Harrell.
Helm.
I mean, not Harrell.
Helm.
They could activate Hasty. I mean, not damn it, Harrell.
Yep.
And leave Helm inactive, and then we could still see him. Doesn't mean anything. It's just that they wanted that guy who knew the system because he was here last year. And then, all right, let's proceed. That tells us, well, that tells me that they're still not quite sure what's going on with George Kittle.
They haven't practiced yet.
Right, and that's what Shanahan said in the presser, was that he has to see how he looks on Wednesday. Wednesday isn't here yet. Just in case things aren't going the way you want them to, you got to make a move. Better safe than sorry. Yep. That's all that means.
We'll really see who. Look, I know Chase Harrell made this team from the beginning, right? Was still around, and obviously, I think Daniel Helm was released to the practice squad, but he ended up taking a different practice squad.
Right.
But we'll see in the long run, because if Jimmy comes back, and we'll see what happens with Helm and Harrell, as in who Kyle Shanahan thinks is more progressed, especially with Jordan Reed being out for 6 to 8 weeks or whatever it is. One of these other guys, he likes to keep 4 active tight ends, and Daniel Helm's got familiarity with this offense, so that's pretty much what that is all about, man. So
Daniel Helm, he was with the Chiefs, he was with the Chargers, like he's been
all over
with the Bucks, the Niners, like he's been everywhere, man. I've been everywhere, man.
He's the Fitzpatrick of tight ends.
Whew, talk your shit, Breezy. I like that. I ain't gonna touch on it no more.
So, guys, I asked this question to you not last week, but the week before, right? I think it might have been last week. JaMycal Hasty, right? We talked about this before, and my question was, and I don't know if we asked it on the show or if me and Tony and Brian were talking about it after a show. But my question is, with obviously Tevin Coleman going down now, you protected JaMycal Hasty last week. You brought him up. Now you protected him again today to where he can't be taken. So obviously it looks like he'll be brought up again. Obviously with Tevin Coleman out, you're going in. You're not sure about Mostert yet. That's another guy they'll see for practice this week. Then you got Jeff Wilson Jr. and JaMycal Hasty, right? So you bring him up. Let's say you bring him up again. Now, when you revert him back to the practice squad, you can bring him up one more time. So you have to protect him one more time. And then he has to hit waivers. Who is the odd man out here? Or do we take the chance of losing JaMycal Hasty? Because the kid showed some really good things in his minimal attempts.
Breezy, you want to go first to me? I'll tell you what, before we answer it, think on it, Breezy. Ricardo Antonio Castillo. $5 contribution. Thank you very much. It says, your East Hartford, Connecticut boy, Breezy.
East Hartford in the building. CT represent, baby. Shout out, Ricardo. Appreciate you, baby.
Said no one ever. He says, love your show, guys. We beating down the Eagles. And I'm going to sing this. This is bye, Eagles, bye. I get it, man. Much love to you guys. Stay safe. Thank you for the contribution, my man, and representing for your squad. I like that, man. Represent for Connecticut. CT in the building. All right, Breezy. I bought you some time, man. Nick needs an answer, bro.
I like Cali, and Cali put up something that I like. And he said maybe they cut someone else. Doesn't have to be a running back. There's other guys that they can probably remove, like CJ Beathard. There's guys that could be cut. Dante Pettis. There's guys that seem to be expendable. Have you noticed that Dante Pettis is pretty much phased out of everything right now? right? They even put him in on kickoff return, and the ball just goes over his head or whatnot. But I think he's pretty much phased out. So to answer your question, I think part of it depends on Tevin Coleman's health. I think Tevin Coleman is still going to be a part of this team, but if his injury is going to take a little bit longer than what's expected, he might go on that season-ending IR. Remember, we still can put 2 guys on that, and then activate and then bring up 2 more guys, and one being a running back with Jermichael Hasty. Listen, you can't let this guy get off your team. He adds a shiftiness. It's ridiculous. You know, he is probably what Jerick McKinnon was before Jerick McKinnon got a little bit older and injured a couple of times. He has that shiftiness, right? He might not hit the hole as quick as Mostert or whatever when that one straight one cut type run, but man, he could dance and he could make people miss, and that's huge, right? That's huge. I don't think that they let this guy get away. I think they figure out a way. They continue to exhaust all their protections, right? They're going to do it until they can't anymore. And then they're going to have to make a tough decision. And then I think that tough decision is letting go somebody that we might. Yeah.
So let me ask you this before Mike answers, right? So you're saying I'm going to put you as John Lynch right now.
Yeah.
All right. You're saying cut somebody else, possibly, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that's what you're saying, but possibly cutting somebody else. If Tevin Coleman, now I'm going to give you this scenario. Tevin Coleman doesn't go on season-ending IR.
Yeah, so I'm definitely trying to figure out if I'm going to cut somebody else. I don't think that's a
gamble.
gamble.
So that's my thing. So if you cut somebody else, you're carrying 6 running backs, bro.
Okay.
Counting.
We've seen the Patriots do it, and they've won Super Bowl. So what you saying?
That's a lot, man. With the
It's
injury, that's an injury to our receivers.
But I'm talking about cutting a wide receiver who's not getting any play, and even with injured wide receivers, he's not getting any play. If he can't beat out the guys that are already that they're bringing in on the team, he can't beat those guys out. So he might just be expendable. Say, hey, bye, Dante, bye. Like they might just have to say it's time to go. You know, you're welcome. We thank you for your contribution. Here's a gift bag and some face masks. I don't know. All I'm saying is it might be his time, or they might part ways with CJ Beathard because they might sit there and say, you know what, we've made up our mind. We're going to extend Nick Mullins. We'll go with 2 quarterbacks now. So I think there's some guys that can be expendable. I love the way you coming at me with this, baby, because I don't really know what the hell I'm talking about. But all I know is these are some possibilities and some scenarios that they can do.
I like it, man. I like it. Let's bring Brian in. He's joining here. Glad you're back. Glad the car worked out. Glad you made it home safely. Go ahead, Nick. That was your question to him. You said before I answered, so I don't want to say anything.
No, that was the question. So he answered. I was trying to give him, if Tevin Coleman is not on the IR, what are you doing? You're the general manager. What are you doing?
You want me to go next? Or you want Brian to go next?
Yeah, you go next because I don't know if Brian heard the question, and then we'll ask the question again to Brian.
All right, so this is what I'm going to do. When's the trade deadline?
So now you're thinking. In a couple
I'm
of weeks,
sending
right?
Tevin Coleman to the Giants or whatever team is desperate for a running back. Hopefully he's healthy, and you want to trade him healthy. So this is what I want to do.
So what if he's not healthy? No, I'm sorry.
Right, but I want to get Tevin Coleman back on the field as soon as possible. You want to sell high. Running backs, they say, are a dime a dozen. I don't think the Giants were too happy with Freeman's performance this week against us, and so you put Tevin Coleman out here. You let him get 120 all-purpose yards. And then boom, put him on the trade block. That's me. That's Mike. All right. I like what I'm seeing from Jet. I told you guys I was most excited about him and wanting to see what he could bring to this table, what he could bring to the table this season. I like what I'm seeing from him. Tevin Coleman, he serves the purpose. He's had some really good games, right? He's had some games, and now he's hurt. Heal up, get out here. Let's show the league what you can do. Let's remind them, and then you trade him. That's what I would do. That's Mike. If we're faced with this situation, you don't want to lose Hasty. This team likes undrafted guys. They do. We saw it with Breida. You know what I'm saying?
This team gets injured at that position a lot too.
Right. So
why
I'm
not
not
keep
letting
him
him go. Right. I'm not letting him go. They let Breida go. And Hasty is the guy that we said was most like Breida as far as the explosiveness, and you get him out of here. And I'm letting Coleman go. That's my final answer for it.
Cool.
Trade block, baby. Trade block. So, Brian, I guess the floor is yours. What are you doing in that situation?
So what exactly was the question?
If you're the GM, Tevin Coleman does not go on IR. He comes back healthy. All right. Now, they protected Hasty again. They did that today, Nick said. So that's twice now that they were expected to bump him up and make him active. So that'll be 2 times off of the practice squad. If we put him back on the practice squad again, that's the last time we can do that. That's the rule that we looked up when we were on the show a couple nights ago. So
Right.
if we get to that point, what do you do with your running backs? Hasty's back. McKinnon's here. Mostert's back. And then here comes Tevin Coleman. You also have juice. That's a lot of backs to have on your roster at one time. Now, maybe the team likes it. Maybe the team, like Breezy said, we've seen the Patriots do it with a ton of running backs. And if that's, we're a run-first team. I know people don't want to say that, but we're a run-first team. I meant to add up how many yards. You know what? I'm going to shut up. But that's what the question is. What do you do?
Okay. Well, I would. So right now we have Coleman on IR, right? He's officially on IR. We have no. They haven't moved him to IR yet.
Yeah, they moved. Coleman's on the IR.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
right.
he is.
Okay.
But he'll be back before the trade deadline, right? Trade deadline's what, week 8 or 9?
It
Right.
Or is
depends.
that just fantasy?
Depends on when he gets healthy.
Yeah.
No, I'm asking. The trade deadline doesn't change based off of his health. I'm asking when the trade deadline is.
No. You said he'll be back before the deadline. It depends on his injury. It depends on how.
Right.
He may still be injured and on IR.
My thought process is that whether it's this week or next week, when Mostert comes back, you will have Mostert, McKinnon, and Wilson, and we will have either brought up and kept up Hasty, and he's going to stay on the active roster until Coleman comes back or is ready to come back. But when that window opens, I think, but just like Mike, they shop him. I thought they should have shopped him at the beginning of the season. I didn't see a reason to have Coleman on this team when you could have saved some money if you traded him. You wouldn't have saved as much if you released him. You'd have saved about half. But if we had traded him, then we would have saved the $4 million that his contract is for the season. And so I think that they go somewhere down that road because there's more value in keeping Hasty and Wilson on this team than releasing Hasty. He possibly gets picked up. Maybe you're gambling. If he comes back to the practice squad. But that's what I would do if I was the GM. I'm putting him on the block and see if I can get anything for T. Cole. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah. So Tevin Coleman's post and pre June 1st cut is $0 dead money and $4.868 million in cap savings. I just don't know. I don't know if you're finding a suitor for Tevin Coleman.
I agree, but we're also talking 6 weeks
that's
from now. So we are 5 to 6 weeks where we're going to have probably more injuries, especially, it looks like at MetLife. There's no reason to think that that's going to change, right?
Yeah.
Really?
Obviously it could change. There's still a lot of season left. I just still think it'll be harder to find somebody to take on that $5 million.
Right. But you're asking me what I would do if I'm the GM. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to shop.
No. Right. I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just giving my opinion on the 2 trades.
If I
you
cannot,
and Mike both said trade. Breezy said cut somebody else on the team.
right.
So I'm just trying to
No.
see where you guys are at. That's all.
And I see what Breezy's talking about, but I don't think that they cut a receiver or another position, particularly skill position, in order to keep 6 with juice on the roster. I don't see them do that. I know the Patriots have done it before, but I don't see Kyle doing that. But then again, it's going to depend. If we can pull Hasty up to the active roster, but if he's not actually getting playing time, then he's not putting any tape together. Then there's, the other 31 teams don't know what he can do other than what they saw on his college tape either. I mean, other than what, 2 snaps, I think, that he got that were actually to him, right?
Yeah, but the thing is if Tevin Coleman's on the IR, he's going to be getting those snaps.
Who's going to be getting those snaps?
Hasty will be getting snaps too.
Well, if we have Mostert and McKinnon and Wilson, that doesn't necessarily mean that Hasty's going to see the field. You know, he could be an active participant, but not a productive participant, depending on what the scheme is. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I think that there's a potential that we don't really ever get to see what he is capable of doing this season. And he's there, and I think that they'll keep him in any way, shape, or fashion that they can. But I also think that, you know, our front office is smart. Kyle's smart. They're going to try to stash Tico until he's healthy. I mean, they're going to try and keep all of those guys. And it's just a matter of how they manipulate the NFL rules to do it.
Exactly.
But I do not think that they're going to stack 5 active, running backs on that roster, and then your fullback on top of that. That just seems like overkill, or not necessarily a waste. I mean, I know we're a run first team, but I just don't foresee them doing that.
Brian, you have something in your hand, like tapping something?
No.
Oh. I kept hearing like a tap, like something was tapping.
It sounds like somebody's like doing Morse code or something.
Sound like a bobblehead.
Yeah, see, somebody just wrote in there, tapping. Like, who is it? Yeah. No, but you know what though? The thing is man, is it's gonna be that's why I've tried to put this question out there before, because you kind of foresee it happening. One way or another, this team cannot let a Jermichael Hasty just walk, or somebody pick him up. And the reason I say that is because, you have a low end contract in Jeff Wilson. You have a $4 million contract in his last year of his contract in Tevin Coleman. Raheem Mostert just signed an extension. Jerick McKinnon is only here, this year? Right? So you're down, Tevin Coleman's last year, Jeff Wilson's last year. Obviously, he's going to be a restricted free agent. And then McKinnon. So the only running back that's on this team next year is Mostert. So losing Hasty is – what's that?
Wilson will be back too. He's a restricted free agent. They'll pay for him to come back.
Right. He's a restricted free agent. Yeah. So restricted free agent. So Jeff Wilson and Raheem Mostert. What is going on over there?
I don't know what they're doing. I
was on mute, so it's definitely not me. I muted myself just to make sure.
I was on mute too, and I just took myself off. I'm just reading the comments. The comments are funny. Somebody said I was playing with marbles. I got marbles in my pocket. Nah, man, they upstairs, cuz.
Symmetry said it sounds like mice having sex. I said he watching Bad Boys too.
That's why I started laughing.
But it becomes an important it becomes an important decision for this team, because of the fact that you're going into this season next year with only 2 running backs. If you lose Hasty, that's still not good, right? So obviously this is a guy that you keep around. You think that he has the potential. We've seen some potential out of him, and sooner or later you're going to have to put him on the field to see what he has, to make that decision, because of the fact that you don't know what's going to happen next year or this year for that.
But I also think that our scouting department is, even with the decreased amount of games you're going to see at the college level this year, they are very proficient at finding pieces that fit this system. And so I think that it's not out of the realm of possibility for them to let whomever go and just go find another rookie next year. Or 2.
I know what it is. It's Brian's headphone, the red piece right here. That's it. That's the sound.
Y'all always trying to blame me though, dog. Yo, it's breezy. No. It's not breezy. I spent too money for this shit for it to be click, 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 click. It ain't breezy this time, guys. It used to be breezy, but it's not breezy this time. Stop
I was going to
picking
say
on
it
me.
used to be because I wasn't even on the show when you had clicking before.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It wasn't
I
even
seen
that.
when
It
he
was
was
a stupid
talking, I
echo.
seen it move. I seen it move, and I was like,
Right.
that's it. That's the culprit. So
It's all good, man. It's all good. Nick, that was a great question. I can't wait to see what happens. We're going to keep an eye on it. We're going to try to keep people updated as long as it goes on. So I got nothing else for the rest of the show, man. Any final thoughts before we wrap this thing up, fellas? Let's get up out of here. It's a solid show, over 2 hours. I mean, I think we brought it. I think we did a very good film breakdown. We had the clips for you guys, and
Great job, Nick.
we apologized to some players. We gave flowers to people, including Nick. That we thought that we were too hard on, and
I
you know,
apologize to Mike McGlinchey. I'm sorry, I didn't say it on air, but I apologize, Mike. Good game.
it's all good, man. No, really, it's all good. And like I said, for anybody else out there, if people are tuned in now and they didn't see it, go back and watch Mike McGlinchey. Just watch Mike McGlinchey, and you'll. I think everyone will be pleasantly surprised at how good he played this game. We were really, really hard on him, and that one clip that came out with him just getting tossed to the ground. I mean, it was a play that wasn't even to his side. And like I said, there was a good timing by the defensive tackle. I think we were the hardest on him of anybody else following the game. And it wasn't just, it wasn't cause for that kind of criticism that we gave that young man. So he's a second year guy. He's trying to, right? It's the second year or second year, right?
third.
McGlinchey.
Third
year.
It was Solomon Thomas, and then it was McGlinchey, first round picks, right? First year, second year was So either way, but I think it's his third year. You're right. I think he's going to be all right. But again, it was just the Giants, and keep that in mind with everything that we have said tonight on the show. It was just the Giants. This is not one of those top 15 teams that we're going to play, and that goes for Nick Mullins, that goes for Jason Verrett, Dante Johnson, who we complimented, Mike McGlynn, anybody who we said played well, including Hasty. Right? And those guys only accounted for 179 yards. I fell short of my 200 plus, but I was damn close. Come on. I said that those running backs are going to get 200 plus all-purpose yards. They were at 179. And, I think, well, whatever. It doesn't matter what I think. But we gave the flowers. It was just the Giants. We have to keep that in mind. So this team is ramping up. They're getting ready to head towards the better competition, the harder parts of the schedule. And the good news with all that is we're getting back to the healthy team that we need to hold off these tougher teams, guys. I'm giving you guys my final thoughts and everyone else can go. We have the Eagles coming up. Then we have the Dolphins. And then, boom, we're right into the thick of things. I know we had a ton of injuries. That injury list is long, right? But here's the good news. Knock on wood, good news. We've only lost 2 guys for the entire season. I know that list is long, but only 2 of them are gone for the entire season. Hold tight, faithful. We're going to be back on track, and we're going to be a better team. I promise you.
So I had 2 quick things. I just wanted to ask real quick because I didn't get to see all the show. Did you guys discuss Helm? Okay. And then my question about the running game. Do you think that it was, and I don't know if you guys touched on this, but obviously we had some problems running the ball a little bit this week. Was that the Giants' interior line, or was that new people getting used to, not new, but a new scheme, a new set of backs trying to run things with the missing 2 leads from the week before?
Yeah, I think it was some of both. I think that we know what the Jet skill set is. He's just a different type of runner, and trying to get him to get outside. We saw him get outside a couple of times, and he had a couple of big gains, but those runs up the middle, that just is not, it's not his thing. You know what I'm saying? So, but again, I would like to see him run up the middle against a different type of interior defensive line, because that defensive line was ranked like number 2, number 3, or something like that. They're pretty high up there and stopping the run. And we averaged
before the fourth quarter.
Before
they were ranked.
Oh, yeah, right. Before the fourth quarter,
right.
And then the fourth quarter, you turn it. But we didn't even do that much type of running in the fourth quarter. We ran into the outside and we threw the ball. You know what I'm saying? So I think it was some of both, though, Brian. Just to be honest.
Well, that's what I was asking, because that's what I was seeing was a little bit of both. Because usually we get a little bit more out of Wilson, and he seemed like he wasn't able to break through the line like he normally does, as often as he normally does.
12 for 15. That it was tough.
We kind of knew this was going to be a hard interior rush game, right? Going into it. I mean, we had Kid Blue on. He talked about how well the defense played up the middle in the 3-4 front, things like that. You know, I think it definitely had a little bit to do with both. You know, but I think more so the defensive line. They played good. The defensive line and their linebackers played really good and stout up front. When you go back and watch the game, they were pursuing their gaps and pursuing them good, and they were stuck on the run game, and they were trying their hardest to shut that down. It was funny that Melissa asked that question, because that was going to be my final thought question for you guys, was with the Tennessee Titans breakout, are we even going to have a full season?
Well, that's what I want to get to here, and it's going to be a weird little transition, but I promise you guys, I'm going to tie this all together. You see I changed his logo up in the top, right? So listen, guys, Nothing But Niners is sponsored officially by Manscaped.com. There's a D at the end of that. Manscaped.com. Use the promo code NB9ers to go there and save 20% and get free shipping on anything that you purchase. You don't have to purchase a whole package if you just want to go get the Lawnmower 3. This is why this is important, right? These guys with the Titans, there's a rumor. Now, this part hasn't been confirmed yet, but there's a rumor that the Titans knew a player tested positive and still let him play, okay? They were not being safe. They were not protecting themselves, and they took everyone else's health and disregarded it, okay? Well, guys and women, because you can use these products too, ladies, here's the thing. You have to protect yourself. It starts at home, and it starts with taking care of yourself first. So if you're going to take care of yourself, it starts with grooming and cleanliness. There's an expression that says cleanliness is next to godliness. And so, guys, if you want to groom, you want to stay clean, you want to take care of yourself, go to manscaped.com, use the promo code NB9ERS. I'm telling you guys, it's worth it. I'm speaking from experience here. It is a positive thing, and it will have a positive effect on your personal hygiene and life. Now, Breezy, I'm going to let this promo stay up there, but I want to get your thoughts on what happened and what we heard today. 3 total players tested positive, and then they went back and confirmed. They weren't false positives. They were confirmed positive cases of COVID-19 for 3 players and 5 members of the staff for the Titans. They have suspended all in-building exercises. So they are not allowed inside their building until at least Saturday. And that's so that we continue to do more drastic testing. And the same thing goes for the team that they played against, which I believe was the Vikings, right? Yeah, it was the Vikings that they played against. So both teams have since suspended all in-facility activities until Thursday. And I want to give it to Breezy to talk about, because listen, they didn't protect themselves. They didn't do the right thing. Somewhere down the line, something happened that went wrong. So I want to give it to Breezy for his final thoughts. And then also give us a little testament about your Manscaped experience, if you're back.
Yeah, I look stuck. Can you hear me?
We can hear you loud and clear, but you're stuck for sure.
I don't know what happened. Nick did something and I got stuck. You like disappeared, Nick, and then you switched something on the screen, and now I'm stuck like Chuck. So I'm gonna leave, and y'all go ahead and talk.
Okay. So then, Nick, you go ahead and break it down for us first. And then I want to know, Nick, have you tried the Manscaped package yet? I can't hear you. You're on mute. You're on mute, bro.
Of course, I was already manscaping before Manscaped was a thing. So
no, you can't say that. We got a sponsor. You can't.
No. I'm saying before they came out with the product, but the product is definitely better than what I was using before. You don't get nicks, you don't get crannies, right? Like you can get in those little spots. So, look, if you don't Manscape, or if you're looking to Manscape, use the promo code NB9ERS. Go to Manscaped, man. Get your Lawnmower 3.0. Get your shirt. Get your bag. Comes with the clips. Comes with some ball deodorant. Comes with some spray-on lotion. Bro, if you ain't doing it Manscaped, you ain't doing it right. Same thing with us here at Nothing But Niners. If you ain't listening to us, you ain't doing it right. So, yeah.
Can y'all? Oh, there he is. I was about to say, can y'all see Breezy?
I'm still stuck. I don't understand what happened.
All right, so do me a favor on your soundboard. Turn your volume up. And then just break it down. We can see you, and you look good, brother. You all right over there, so it's okay. It's a good way to be frozen.
I look stuck. Look, all right, listen. I don't want to be stuck. I don't like being stuck, but there's nothing I could do about it. So what the? All right. So this whole situation, man, this is a very touchy situation for me because, you know, in my profession, safety is everything. You know what I'm saying? I got to make sure that I'm protected. I got to make sure that my house is protected, and then I got to make sure that all the kids and that I reach and touch, you know, I see each and every day, they're protected. You know what I'm saying? Like, so talking about this is really touchy. But as far as the NFL is concerned, I don't see the season being foregone. They done put in way too much work. Now, if this pandemic really starts to spread to other teams and gets really bad, they're handling it like the baseball season when they had the couple of baseball teams and the Florida Marlins was going through their situations and things like that. They're handling it like that. So shout out to the NFL for, you know, shutting down the organization for at least till Saturday. And they're gonna get down to the nitty gritty. Mike, if I'm not mistaken, though, 5 players tested positive and 3 personnel staff tested positive for it. So it's a total of 8 that we know of as of right now. All right. People are saying that I'm unstuck, so that works, but I still feel stuck on my end. So I don't.
I thought it was the other way, but either way, it is 8 total people. So I thought it was 3 staff and 5 players, but I mean, I'm sorry, I thought it was 3 players and 5 staff. But either way, it's 8 people inside that building.
Right. So it's all you know. Yeah, that's how I feel about it. So hopefully they'll work. They'll get to the nitty gritty. They'll keep other teams continue to follow the protocols. You've been doing such a great job. They've been giving us. We've had football for 3 straight weeks, guys, and we're gonna have football for the 4th week. So you know, just keep doing. I hope they keep doing what they're supposed to be doing. Continue to follow protocol. I got issues though because if that rumor is true, how in the heck they're endangering? Never mind. My man,
no, you're absolutely right. So listen to this, right? And this is, we don't have any cases going on here in this locker room, but Shanahan was fined personally $100,000, which is under appeal, and the team was fined $250,000. So that's $350,000 that was fined just from this organization alone. Now, what kind of fines do you like? I don't want an answer, but I'm just saying that what that team could be facing.
$10 million.
Right. So think about it.
You can't see it.
If they can't play, that's a lot of revenue that those teams that for their next game is going to be losing, both teams. And so you have to think about this for a second, right? The NFL, I don't know how their fine system is set up, but this is dangerous. This is stupid. It's uncalled for, and I really, really hope that rumor is not true. I haven't seen it confirmed nor denied by anyone else, but I did see a couple of check marks, a couple of verified accounts say that this happened, and so that they knew they had the knowledge of a player testing positive, and they still put him out there. One, you guys won the game by 1 point. What player was it? If it wasn't Derrick Henry or like the main bell cow for your offense, you know what? I shouldn't even say that because there's no justification for it. There is no justification for it. They should not have done that.
Not a single ounce of justification.
Right. And I know a lot of people say, "Oh, this whole thing is a hoax, and it's only for election time and all that stuff." BS. People are sick. People are dying.
It's hit my household type people.
Yeah, I didn't want to put any personal business out there, but you're on it.
Yeah,
mine too.
So
you know what I'm saying? I didn't even know that about B. So it's irresponsible. That's the word. It's irresponsible. It's negligence, and they could be facing some serious fines if that rumor is true. I put this comment up here because I read this in Cartman's voice immediately. I mean, not Cartman. What's the guy? Oh my God, you killed Kenny. What's the dude's name from South Park that says that? It's not Cartman that says it. It's the other one.
Like Stan or something. I don't know.
Yeah, but I read it. I read it in that voice. That's why I put that comment up there. But I'm gonna shut up, man. Let's. I want to get the other two. Well, Nick, you kind of gave your thoughts on it. Brian, if you want to give your final thoughts on this, what's happening with the Titans and the Vikings right now.
No, I mean, I had not heard about what you're talking about. I did not see. I saw that they had tested positive, but I did not see that they had potentially previously known who or had a player that was tested positive and they let him play. I did not see that anywhere, so that's interesting news. Look, I mean, we went into this season knowing that this was a possibility. That's why they put the rules in place that they put in place. You know, and then until it starts to, you know, steamroll into more teams and more teams, it's not really. I don't think having two teams test, you know, positive, or having a team test positive is going to stop the season from happening, because I don't think the NFL owners are going to allow it. Now, if you have a couple of more teams that get, you know, they may have to at least pause, right?
Well, the NFL and the NFLPA have agreed on this rule that states any unfair advantage to any team is not legal. And so if these teams have to suspend practices and all that, there could be a trickle-down effect. These teams could lobby and say, you know, whatever is going on, and these teams that can prepare to play against us and we can't prepare have an unfair advantage. There could be there's a lot of potential here that we can't touch on because we just don't know. We're not in the know. But there are a lot of things here at play that could end up in the season being halted. We have seen the season pause for a little bit, but usually it's in the very beginning of the season, and then they have resumed the season later on. We saw in 2010 or 2011, Harbaugh's first year, where there was a lockout, and they halted all NFL practices and anything to do with teams, and that's why we had the Camp Alex. That's why it blew up so much the way it did, with the guys just getting together on their own and not at the team facilities and all that. But there's a lot at play here that we could be facing, and this is serious for the NFL, because unlike other sports teams, this is the largest amount of people in one building at one time of any sport out there. I'm talking soccer, baseball, hockey, all of the basketball. None of them come close to the size of the people that are on one field or in one facility for any game. And so it's really, really tough. We have to be super careful here, guys. And we don't want to make this sound like, it's, the sky is falling, but we also don't want people to just gloss over this. This is something that's very serious, and the NFL season could be on the line here. We're going to keep our eyes on it, and we're going to keep you guys abreast of all the news that we hear and bring it to you guys here. So I'm going to shut up, and I'll let you guys take it home.
So you brought up oh, sorry, Nick, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
So you brought up the issue of the unfair advantage, but obviously the NFL expanded the rules to have a 16-player practice squad to make sure that there was ample replacements available. So at what point do you think impact on number of players was, I'm assuming, is probably the metric they'll use, like how many players have to be lost from a team before they say, that we're done? Do you think that Go ahead.
I don't think it has anything to do with the amount of players. I think it's about, okay, so like this whole case, right? Tennessee came up positive. Now, how many people are going to come up from positive from the Vikings game? And then how many people is it going to affect on both teams? Do they have to cancel that game? Does that game have to get moved and rescheduled? Now another team has to move because the whole traveling stuff, right? So with all the travel bans and things like that, I think if you get one or two games that are canceled or pushed back, postponed, that you're even more of a chance of the NFL just completely shutting down, because they're not going to travel from California to the East Coast or wherever it may be, especially these hot zones in the United States, and put other teams at risk. Because if you start doing that, now you don't know that they have it. Let's just say they're asymptomatic or they get tested. I understand that, but how much are they getting tested? They get tested before games? Are they getting tested right after games? Are they getting tested before they fly? Are they getting tested when they get back to the hotel? So
I kind of think it's all of the above. It's before games and after games, and then every time they enter a facility, like they're doing multiple tests.
This is my question to it, though. They say that even with a rapid test, even though you get a rapid test, right, it can still take 2 to 14 days for any symptom to show up in your body. So even though I'm getting a rapid test, I may not have it at that moment. But then I keep traveling and traveling and traveling, and I didn't get a symptom or didn't get into my system until, let's say I leave on a Sunday. It didn't get in my system until Wednesday. All that travel time now from different airports, different things that other people, it's just going to continue to spread. So even though they get rapid tests, the rapid test may not be as accurate if the symptom isn't there. You may have just came in contact with it and it hasn't taken over your body yet, and 2 days later, now you have it, but you were just fine on all the planes and everything else. So That's where the issue comes, and we don't really
curious
know.
to Go ahead.
I was just gonna say we don't really know what it is or how it evolves in the body or anything really on it. So,
right. But like you said, I don't think there's any way that they can justify, like, okay, well, it was the kick. I'm just throwing it out there. It was the kicker. He doesn't have much contact with anybody. We'll keep him off on the side and just bring him out for the kicks, whatever. Then
they have tracers on their arms.
I know.
So,
right. They should be able to go back and figure out who was where. But I'm just saying, like, if you were to go back and watch the game, do you see any players sitting on the sidelines far away from the rest of the team? Like if there was somebody who was identified as being sick, obviously they would try to segregate them to some extent.
Right.
And you guys
know that.
The other thing is this, right? We're talking about just two teams right now, but those two teams affect their opponents, their upcoming opponents. So, for example, the Vikings play the Texans, and the Titans play the Steelers. So that's 4 teams immediately affected by this game. If the NFL deems that the Vikings and the Titans can't play, that's 4 teams that are affected by that.
I mean, think about if this guy, whoever it was, whomever tested positive, they had contact with the team last week and another team the week before that. And then so those results the symptoms may not be seen for, a while. So
yeah, and that was Nick's point. So this is something that we have to I tell you what, you won't hear it from us first because I promise you guys it'll be all over the headlines. The NFL is the biggest sporting event in this country, period. When they surpassed NASCAR, they have not looked back since then. And so you will hear it on every single ESPN, CNN, they are all going to report on this. So you won't hear it from us first, but we will definitely touch on it as it keeps going. So that's just where we are. It's not a political take. It's not a left, right wing, anything. It has nothing to do with that. It's about health and safety, guys. So we are definitely going to keep our eyes open and report on it as necessary. All right. So that's really it for us tonight. You guys gave your final thoughts. Are you guys at peace? You ready to move out?
I'm at peace, man. I'm good.
All right. I love it. Well, guys, that's going to do it for us here. Make sure you guys are locked in. I'm only going to put one banner up here really quick. And I want to remind you guys, if you enjoyed the show, to hit that like button. All right. If it's your first time here, then also subscribe and turn on notifications because we bring breaking news videos all the time. We did not bring breaking news when we heard Jordan Reed was going to be out 6 to 8 weeks because we knew we had a show coming up tonight. But under normal circumstances, that would be breaking news. We promise that we're going to get on top of that. We'll bring the news to you guys for the 49ers here first and foremost. So this is going to be the place to be, locked in. Okay. And that's going to do it for us here tonight for Nothing But Niners. We thank you all for rocking with us 2.5+ hours. You guys have been awesome. And we hope you enjoyed the show. That's going to do it. Prepare for glory.
Anticipate pain.
But always remain faithful.
Yeah.
Peace.